Florida State for a top 5 matchup in the ACC starting tonight. Not a single seat available here for the weekend, and we are ready for all of the action as we welcome you inside our broadcast booth here at the McNeese Baseball Park with Devin Travis. I'm Mike Farron. I've been waiting all week for this. This is great. A top 5 matchup here. One of the best offenses in the country against one of the best pitching staffs.
No doubt. It's good on good, and this is going to be one incredible series right here. You think about the ACC, you think about the country. We're looking at 2 of the very best, and I can't help but start with this Georgia Tech phenomenal
They
offense.
have been incredible this year, topped in runs per game, and they are loaded with stars, including this young man, Von Lackey.
Von Lackey is the leader of this club, and you think about progression throughout your collegiate career. James Ramsey said when Von Lackey was a freshman, hitting .215, this guy's going to be a first-round pick one day. Well, you better believe it. Number 21 prospect does not do him justice. It's going to be a top 5 pick. It's arguably the best player in the entire country.
You can see, as you mentioned, he struggled as a freshman. Last year, a pretty good season, right? 900 OPS, half a dozen homers. This year, a legitimate candidate for the Golden Spikes Award. 1350 OPS and has nearly doubled his home run total. But he's going to have his hands full today with this Florida State pitching staff, and their ace, Wes Mendez, has been the best of the ACC so far.
Wes Mendez is absolutely fantastic. And last week against Virginia, he didn't have his ace stuff really outside of 1 inning, a 4-run 4th inning. He was electric, and he pitched on 6 days rest, so it was a day short, but he delivered, kept his team in the game. But you think about the atmosphere tonight in this offense, he's got to deliver.
The offense is the question for Florida State right now. They are without Miles Bailey, their best player. Suffered a broken leg in the Saturday game against Duke 2 weeks ago. Hunter Karn's starting to heat up in that lineup, though.
He sure is. 2 home runs in his last 3 games. He's a guy that controls the strike zone great. I love to see him turning his field, thinking right center, letting the ball travel. They need him this weekend.
There you see Karns hitting in the 3-hole tonight and doing the catching as Braden Dowd gets ready to lead off against Tate McKee, the Friday starter for Georgia Tech. The role that he's held the last 2 seasons for the Yellow Jackets. Gets ready to take the ball. There's not a ticket remaining for the entirety of this 3-game series. Number 3 and number 5, and the first pitch of the ball game is a strike, and we are underway. There's Tate McKee. Georgia Tech's pitching has been one of their big questions. There is no question about how good Tate McKee is.
No doubt, he's a true ace in the ACC. He's a guy that continues to get better and better. First pitch strikes, keep an eye on it. That fastball command, it's key. Allows his left turns, the slider, cutters to work. The changeup, the sinker, 2 pitches that he's added. It's been a big difference in his progression.
1-1 the count to Braden Dowd, the leadoff hitter, the transfer from USC. Takes outside 2-1. Dowd has been their best hitter. We mentioned it just a moment ago. Miles Bailey, who is having a Golden Spikes Award caliber season for Florida State, suffered a broken leg 2 weeks ago against Duke. And the question is, where is the offense going to come from for Florida State? Because we know their pitching and defense are good enough to get them to Omaha.
It has to be a collective effort, and it has to start with pitching. Pitching must deliver. They must play good defense. I looked at that Saturday game against Virginia. 7 of their 9 starters collected a hit. That's the way that they're going to have to get it done on offense.
2-2 the count to Dowd. The pitch down low, and the count is full. This Florida State offense, even with Bailey, was just in the middle of the pack offensively in the ACC. They played 6 games without him. They've gone 3-3, including a series win that you saw last weekend at Virginia, where they really shut down a powerful Hoos lineup. The 3-2, Tampa foul.
And that was a huge response. I was there for the Thursday night game in a 4-3 tight game outside of 1 inning. These Florida State pitchers held that Virginia offense completely quiet. Virginia coming into that series, 9.5 runs per game. In Florida State pitching, they held them to 9 games in total. It's got to start with pitching for this club.
Here comes the 3-2. Again from McKee. Called strike 3, a sinking fastball just at the bottom of the zone, and Dowd called that on strikes to start the first.
That's a great start right there for Tate McKee. That fastball command, it's huge. He's got a 4-seamer. He'll run it up to 95, 96. But that's the 2-seam fastball, the sinker. It's a pitch that he must command. He added it over this last year. It's been fantastic.
One out for Noah Sheffield. If you're a Major League Baseball fan, see if you can guess whose kid this is.
One of the best. One of the best.
The son of Gary Sheffield takes a strike. It's 0-1. Sheffield has played some outfield, starting at second base now as they've moved the infield around. A sophomore from Tampa, just like his dad. Swings and misses in the count 0-2.
Hey, he's done a nice job filling in at second base last year. A lot of outfield reps was really where he fit in this year as well to start, but they moved him over to second base. He's done a nice job transitioning there. A lot of big hits so far this season.
0-2 the count. And here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He goes down on strikes, and back-to-back strikeouts from McKee to start the first.
2 batters, 2 first pitch strikes. That's a big key for Tate McKee. He's got great stuff. He gets ahead. What's he do? Starts that center lane with the heater. Everything plays off of that center lane with his fastball. 2-seam, changeup, bites down and into righties, away from lefties. The cutter, slider, bites away from righties, into lefties. It's a big key establishing that first pitch strike. He's done it twice.
Here's the guy where the power may come from. It's Hunter Carnes, a former perfect game All-American, takes ball 1. Hand injuries in the fall and in the preseason have limited him, but 2 homers in the last 3 games. He has all-field power. This is a really talented young hitter. The catcher takes inside and the count 2-0.
He was one of the biggest freshmen to get onto campus in the entire country last year, and he's a guy that's made the strides. He's come back. He's found his groove. He's using the whole field. Right center field is a big key for Mr. Carnes. I think that's a big reason he's having success as of late.
The 2-0 misses low in the count 3-0 to the number 3 hitter of the Florida State lineup. Just underway in the first of 3 this weekend here in Atlanta. Number 3 Georgia Tech, number 5 Florida State. There's already a big buzz from this crowd in the 3-0. Inside ball 4, it's a 2-out walk. The first base runner of the night is Carnes and the free pass. As you see, a couple of people bravely wearing garnet and gold.
It's scary in here. It's a packed house. Packed house. This series is sold out. It's crazy to believe that this is the first sellout of an entire series.
Well, it's the first time a weekend series has ever sold out at Russ Chandler Stadium.
Crazy.
All 3 games before it started. They just had the biggest midweek crowd ever last week as Georgia Tech beat then number 5 Auburn by run rule. And you can see that this crowd packed in. And remember, like, all these games are sold out tonight, tomorrow, Saturday. Tomorrow and Saturday, the Atlanta Braves are at home too. Here's the 0-1. Paulino takes it, gets away from Lackey for a moment, but Carnes can't advance. Kelvin Paulino Jr. is from Thomasville, North Carolina, famous for its furniture. They might be famous for Kelvin Paulino Jr. before all is said and done. He's another perfect game All-American. The power hasn't shown up yet, but he is a really talented freshman.
He can flat out hit.
McKee with a long hold in the 1-1. And a count 2-1 now to Paulino. And that's the thing about this Florida State lineup, is it just the power hasn't really come for the group. But there are some very talented young hitters. Carnes, a sophomore. Paulino, a freshman. Sheffield, who you saw earlier, a sophomore. So there is a lot of talent, and they're going to continue to get better. 2-1 off the end of the bat, and the count 2-2.
And you think about losing Miles Bailey, and I get excited for these young guys on this team and the opportunity to step up. And you got to figure, guys like Kelvin Paulino already having success. John Stutzer, one of the most talented freshmen in the country. The more baseball they play, by the time you get to May, heads up.
2-2 the count. McKee's pitch on the ground is short. Carson Kurse will glove flip to second, and the inning is over. A 2-out walk, a man left. We head to the bottom of the first. Florida State nothing. Georgia Tech coming to bat in this top 5 matchup in Atlanta. Georgia Tech's offense has been the best of the country so far in runs per game. They are absolutely incredible. 20 times this year, Devo, they have scored more than 10 runs.
It's an explosive offense. It's dynamic. They score in bunches. 68 home runs. They lead the ACC in 9 different statistical categories. It's a special group.
They are really, really good. You see Drew Burris there scoring, and he will lead things off. The 2-time All-American. He's maybe the one guy that's having a bit of a down year in this lineup, and yet he is starting to get it tuned up here.
He sure is, and he's atop this lineup. I'd love to have a down year hitting north of 300 with an on-base percentage above 450. He's a fighter. He's a competitor. And just like you said, you think about this offense, and your best player coming into the season is having a quote-unquote down year. Scary now that he's got things going.
There's Jaron Advincula, the transfer from Cal, who's a semifinalist for the Golden Spikes Award. And here is Wes Mendez making the start. He was the Sunday starter a year ago for Florida State. Now in the Friday role, he has been the best pitcher in the ACC so far.
He's fantastic, 1.97 ERA. He's a bulldog. He's a true ace. He comes right at you. He's got to establish that fastball tonight. That's key. I think the fastball on the outer edge of the plate to left-handed hitters is going to be a big key. As reverse splits, pitches that are missed on the inner half of the plate, these lefties are the ball that's getting them. But it starts with strike one.
First pitch to Drew Burris, and he swings and pops it up. Chase Williams moving towards the line and makes the catch at foul ground and pounds on the railing. Williams, who last year had shoulder surgery for Florida State at the end of the season, played most of the year in a sling and had no problems crashing into things afterwards too.
He is a special player, one of the most exciting players in the country. He's off to a bit of a slow start, but it's plays like that are the reason why he keeps getting thrown back in the fire. He's a guy that's going to find his rhythm. Great play.
Here is Vaughn Lackey, the star catcher for Georgia Tech, who fouls it back. It's 0-1. Lackey is beginning to look more and more like a top 5 pick this coming draft in July. He has been absolutely unbelievable as you see the numbers. Tremendous athlete, great defensive reputation. Georgia Tech has become catcher U over the last 30 years. I think it started with Jason Varitek when he was here, but Lackey is the next in line of the great catchers that they've had come through this program. And he bounces that one towards the middle and through for a 1-out single. First hit of the night, and Lackey, who runs well, is aboard with 1 out.
And that's just what good hitters do. Wes Mendez makes a nice pitch there. 0-2 gets in on his hands, well located. But good hitters, they take their knot. Sure, you look at the big explosive numbers, 10 doubles, 11 home runs, 2 triples, but he's taking his knocks when he's down in the count. Nice piece of hitting.
Jaron Advincula hits, the transfer from Cal, who's also on the midseason watch list for the Golden Spikes Award. Left-handed hitting second baseman takes a ball outside. 1-0. He's one of the more high-profile transfers in the ACC. Really 2 great years in Berkeley, and now hitting in the middle of this Georgia Tech lineup.
Special player. What a great ad by James Ramsey and this Georgia Tech staff.
That went outside. It's 2-0. And we were talking, and you were a big fan of Advincula.
I love his game. I love his game. He's just a bulldog. No errors on the year. Always plays great defense. He controls the strike zone great. He's not a guy with a ton of power, but he takes his chances when he's way ahead in the count.
That went outside in the count 3-0. Advincula's the only member of this Georgia Tech lineup that faced Wes Mendez last year. Florida State and Georgia Tech didn't play last season, but Cal did. He went 0 for 3 against Mendez. Ahead in the count 3-0 with Lackey at first in the last of the first. And he takes a high strike. It's 3-1. See a really good year last year at Evans Diamond for Advincula, and even better this season.
15-game hitting streak snapped on Tuesday. Having a great year.
Here comes the 3-1. Up and in, ball 4, and Georgia Tech threatening with 2 on and 1 out here in the first. There are multiple top 3-round potential picks on this Georgia Tech roster. And the guy who does it the quietest is the man coming to the plate now, and Alex Hernandez. Draft eligible sophomore hitting in the cleanup spot. There's not nearly as much attention paid to Hernandez, but he is one of the top hitters in the conference as well. As he takes a strike, it's 0-1.
He's got big-time juice, and he can drive the ball to the right center field gap like a lefty would be hitting the ball. That's something I really want to see Alex get back to. He's having a great year. It's a little bit quiet for his standards. I think getting into that right center field gap like in BP today, it's a good sign.
Swing and a miss. He had a big rip in that fastball, and the count 0-2. Mendez being challenged here early at Georgia Tech with traffic in this scoreless bottom of the first. Here's the set and the 0-2 upstairs. It's 1-2.
Georgia Tech has scored in 15 ACC games 10 times in the first inning. Wes Mendez has yet to give up a run, an earned run in the first 3 innings of a ball game. These are the big moments, crucial moments in the game for Florida State. And they have to minimize early runs from Tech.
The pitch fouled away. They will draw a lot of walks. The top 8 players in terms of the total plate appearances for Georgia Tech, 6 of them have walked more than they've struck out.
That's impressive. Impressive. That's a sign of a great offense. Guys that come in with great game plans and they buy in 1 through 9.
The pitch just did get a piece to stay alive.
See that 398 batting average with runners in scoring position. Once again, another sign of a great offense. Timely hitting, the ability to take your knocks in big-time situations.
Runners get their lead at first and second. The set and the 1-2. Hernandez pops it up down the right field line. It is a long run for Stutzer, and it's out of play. And we'll do the 1-2 again.
It's a nice battle here. Alex Hernandez has seen them all except the big curveball. 5-pitch mix from Wes Mendez. It's the pitch he throws the least, but it's a good one. It's a pitch he normally goes to early. I like to see him have the ability to start that curveball in the zone here, bounce it down.
Mendez will get a lot of ground balls against righties because of that changeup too. He's got options here, 1 and 2, the pitch. Went to the changeup and got him to swing over the top of it for out number 2. Boy, that was a nasty pitch.
Great pitch right there. Back-to-back changeups. The 1-2 changeup prior was up in the zone a bit, but he trusts his stuff. He has great feel. No question, it's his best pitch. Well located and a big strikeout. Not done yet though. Kent Schmidt coming up. 2 big home runs on Tuesday.
Kent Schmidt hits 5th in this lineup, transferred a year ago from Georgia Southern. He won the ACC batting title last year. The left-handed hitting first baseman takes outside. It's 1-0. I mean, we talked about Alex Hernandez being a guy that doesn't get as much draft buzz, even though he's well regarded by scouts. Nobody talked about Kent Schmidt.
So true.
The quietest batting championship in ACC history.
Oh, he's such a good player. Such a good player.
The 1-0. He swings and skies 1 to right. Stutzer over, makes the catch, and Mendez pitches out of the first and second. 1-out jam. We played one. Florida State and Georgia Tech scoreless in this top 5 matchup tonight in Atlanta. question following Georgia Tech around has been their pitching the last several years. There's no questions on Friday nights right now with them.
Yeah, it's been answered. This entire staff's fantastic, but Tate McKee sets the tone each and every weekend. He eats up innings, and you think about his ability to limit the bullpen use at the back end of the weekend. He's a heck of a pitcher.
Tate McKee, you see the numbers last year, you see it this season. Just one game where he's allowed 4 or more earned runs this season. That was against Pitt, where he gave up 6. Pitt, one of the highest scoring offenses in the country. Very offensive year in the ACC overall.
Offense just continues to get better and better really throughout the entire country.
Eli Putnam playing first base now, takes low, the count 1-1. He's not really the replacement for Miles Bailey, but in the lineup at that spot. As he slides over, a native of Cabin John, Maryland. Bouncer foul, and the count 1-2.
He's got big time juice to the gaps. He's a guy that came in, seasoned, veteran guy, ton of at-bats throughout his collegiate career. They need him to step up in a big way.
2-time first-team All-A-10 selection at Davidson takes down low in the count 2-2. He also has a degree in psychology, which makes me wonder if somebody swings and misses at a Tate McKee slider, if he'll look at him and how did that pitch make you feel? Probably felt pretty good to lay off that one.
There's
the count's
the
full.
That's great.
McKee peering in for the sign, and the 3-2 coming. Down low, ball 4. A leadoff walk to put him in the second. If there is a knock on McKee, it's the walks. That has been an issue for him this season. He walks more than the national average. Doesn't really miss as many bats against left-handed hitters. But that's the one thing that Matt Taylor, the Georgia Tech pitching coach, has to keep an eye on with him.
No question. It's been the fastballs down in the zone. He's gotten so many ground ball outs this year, 40 of them coming into this game. I think that's been a big way he's been able to pick up for those walks, is getting ground balls after a walk.
Chase Williams bunts through that one, the count 0-1. Williams' numbers are not what I expected at all this season. He was terrific playing with one arm last year. You see he's hitting just over 200. But this is a player with dynamic, game-changing speed. And hit over 300 for the Noles last year. Squares the bunt again. I think he bunted through that one. That's a foul tip. It's 0-2.
And not really many at-bats in the fall coming off of surgery. So you got to think that he's really getting a lot of his preseason reps still in season against ACC pitching. He's a guy that's going to find his rhythm.
JUCO transfer last year was drafted by the Dodgers in 2024. Waits the 0-2, and he slaps it foul down the left field line. I have to wonder how much that shoulder surgery, missing the fall, and just recovering physically has been an issue. I mean, Williams' shoulder was so bad last year, his right shoulder, that he could not hit right-handed. He's a switch hitter. He was batting left-handed solely last year.
Left on left, grinding at bats out. Ton of big hits, ton of big speed, and he really never slowed up. He was still stealing bags, diving all over the place. He's a catalyst for this team. He's a guy that they have to get going here on offense as this season progresses.
He hit leadoff against Florida in the midweek in Florida State's loss 4-3 to the Gators. He had a bunt base hit at one point, and it almost felt like it was cathartic for him in that he let out a scream when he got to first base, and he wants to be producing better. It just has been this really rough start, and now halfway through the year, Florida State needs him to turn it up. They don't need him to be a power guy. They need him to be a guy that gets on base and creates havoc with his legs, because he is as fast as anybody. Rolling through the right side, that's a base hit. Putting him around second, he'll head to third, and Florida State has them at the corners with nobody out in the second.
What a great piece of hitting right there by Chase Williams, and that's exactly what you want to see. A lot of swing and miss this year. Strikeout numbers are way up, but hey man, when you get to 2 strikes, you can really run. Got to find a way to get the ball to go forward, put the ball in play. Good things happen when you do. First and third, no outs. Noles threatening early.
All right, so now we'll get a chance to see what Florida State tries to do in a big situation here. Do they play for one? Do they look for more? Ty McKay giving instructions to the runner coming down the line in third at Putnam. John Stutzer, the freshman, very talented right-handed hitter. Waits. Williams the lead from first. He's running. The pitch is a ball. The throw by Lackey. He is out. He overslid the bag. What a throw from Vaughn Lackey for out number 1. Wow.
Careful, 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 Vaughn Lackey. We talked about the offensive prowess. Defensively, no question, he's the best catcher in the entire country. It's a quick release. It's great footwork and a great job right there by Avincula. Stay with him. He gets a good jump. He's probably safe. Got to keep the tag on him. He slides through it. Big out right there for Tech.
I think he was out on the first tag. I think he got him on the chest before the hand got to the bag. I mean, that's incredible. And now we're going to get the first offensive timeout for Florida State here. Lackey still is a little bit of a work in progress. Blocking's pretty good, but receiving at the bottom of the zone. But his defensive reputation is exceptional, and there are few players with his athleticism who catch at any level.
He could arguably be the best shortstop on this team. Matt Taylor said, I mean, he was taking ground balls during BP today out at shortstop. I mean, it's fiery, it's quick. It's a rocket arm. It's great footwork. There's nothing the guy can't do, and that was a huge out here early on in this ballgame.
Terrific baseball IQ as well. Stutzer squares the bunt, bunts it in the air, and Lackey won't have a play. The count 1-1. Well, now it really does feel like Florida State is going to play for 1 run in this inning. Again, they lack the power without Miles Bailey. I know we probably will come back to that many more times than Florida State fans would want us to, but it is a significant loss, and it has changed the way that the Noles are playing their offense.
Without question, and sure, you lose Miles Bailey, but you got a guy at the plate in John Stutzer.
He lines it into right field. That's a base hit, and it'll give Florida State the lead. It heads to the wall, and Stutzer into second with a 1-out double. It's 1-0 Florida State.
What a piece of hitting.
I guess if you're going to hit doubles, that's fine, right?
That's wonderful. You know, and I know we keep talking about the loss of Miles Bailey and this, that, and the other. John Stutzer is one of the most talented freshmen in the entire country. Whether Miles Bailey's on this team or not, you get down to the bottom of the lineup. You're facing a really good Friday starter in Tate McKee. You're trying to find a way to get a run across, period. No matter how you do it, no matter who's in your lineup. That was a great piece of hitting right there by Stutz, getting those on the board early.
Cal Fisher, the junior third baseman, bats. The Deerfield, Wisconsin native. He has had a rough year, and he drives one deep to left center field. It is gone! 3-0 Florida State in the second. Cal Fisher, who has not had the first half of his draft year that he was hoping for, just came up with a big blast for the Noles.
And the biggest one of the season. Cal Fisher is a guy I love to watch play, man. He's super fiery, super competitive. He's a guy that's in every single pitch, but this is simply called doing your homework. You get to a position with a guy in scoring position. Well, he's gonna go to an off-speed pitch. He's done it all year long. He sits on it, he gets it, done miss. 3-0, Noles.
Carter McCulley is taken over at shortstop and takes the ball 1-0. For Fisher, that's just home run number 2 on the year. And a check swing, he went around, and the count 1-1. Just like that, Florida State's offense jumping on McKee here. We expected Georgia Tech's offense to be the one that would jump out against quality pitching, but Florida State showing some power with a pair of extra base hits in the inning.
There's talent up and down this entire lineup.
Cully to center, and that's playable for Burris. 2 outs.
You think about that comeback series win last weekend. They dropped that first game, and it felt like, man, are the Noles ever going to find a way to get it done? They lost their star, and to respond like that, how they did on Friday and Saturday against a Virginia club at home, one of the best offenses in the entire country. They have a very talented pitching staff. That showed a lot of resiliency and resolve of Link Jarrett teams.
Braden Dowd bats. He takes low, 1-0. Dowd struck out looking in the first. His power has started to come around. This is a guy that has maybe the best swing decisions of the Florida State lineup.
He controls the strike zone great. He's a guy that uses the whole field. 3 of his 6 home runs have gone the other way. It's a sign of a good complete hitter.
Takes now low, the count 2-0. I'm talking to Link Jarrett a little bit about him this afternoon, and he was pretty hefty in his praise for what Dowd has been able to do in his first year with Florida State. Came from a quality program at USC, as that would bounce foul. Second team All Big Ten selection a year ago. And he said that as he's kind of gained confidence, he's beginning to escalate his game. That's the way he described it. And I feel like that's the message for a lot of the Florida State guys is, listen, nobody's going to replace the power that they've lost in their lineup with Bailey out. And they don't want to put pressure on guys to do more, but there are players that are capable of more than they've shown. And Dowd with a 2-out single here keeps the rally going for Florida State in the second.
And when you look at the overall numbers of this Florida State club, Miles Bailey walks a ton. They were still generating offense. So collectively, they have done a nice job. They pitch around Miles Bailey. It's got to be the guy after him that steps up. Paulino did a great job protecting him early on in the season. Obviously, you got Carnes coming back now, doing a great job. So this Florida State offense, 1 through 9, they're going to continue to get better and better, and they already were super talented.
Bound conference here, Lackey trying to settle McKee down on what's become a very long second inning. He's already at 41 pitches.
And that's Florida State's goal. You get to the first game of an ACC series, your biggest goal, and you'll hear the hitting coach scream it all throughout the dugout. Hey guys, let's find a way to get into their bullpen. Let's find a way to get into their bullpen. Tate McKee, he's been on a roll, last 11.1 innings. Prior to the start of this game, just 1 earned run given up. Florida State doing a nice job early on with their approach.
Sheffield struck out swinging his first trip and takes low, 1-0. Sheffield with 3 homers. The 1-0 pitch. That was a well-located fastball that time, and the count 1-1.
And that's where Tate McKee has to live with the fastball down in the zone. Ground balls. Dowd over at first base, 6 for 6 on the year in stolen bases. Tate McKee normally pretty quick to home. You got to be under 1-3-5. Knowles with 2 outs here in Sheffield at the plate. They'll take a chance of getting into scoring position.
Takes low, the count 2-1. That's the part of the game that Florida State is really emphasizing now, base running, right? Being able to take the extra 90. It's not just stealing bases. It's how can you be aggressive on the base paths to put more pressure on the defense.
It's huge.
2-1. Bouncer foul. I feel like that's, we don't necessarily think of that externally about Florida State. We usually think about power. But that's been a big part of their game. And going back to when you played there, right? Mike Martin was big on base running.
Oh, big time. I mean, every BP, we'd sit at second base, and the entire round, we took reads from second base on reading the flight of the ball and getting good jumps and no outs and 1 outs and 2 outs. Florida State's always been a great base running team.
2-2, swing and miss. Sheffield down on strikes. And the inning is over. But Florida State gets the lead with a 3 spot in the second, and Cal Fisher the big blow.
Cal Fisher jumps on a first pitch breaking ball. Second homer of the year, Knowles, 3-0. Here they go.
really good lineup over there, but I got some really good stuff on the mounds. I'm excited to get over there, get after it, see what happens between the lines.
Never seen the campus or seen the field before, but I've heard it's a pretty cool experience in the city and stuff. I got to play with a couple kids on Georgia Tech this summer, so that's a little extra boost. Like, hey, I know this kid, let's go compete.
See the top two starters for Florida State, Wes Mendez and Trey Beard. They know this is a big series. I appreciate Mendez's confidence. It's like, I've got good stuff. He's got a 3-0 lead. And he evens the count against Ryan Zuckerman. Wes Mendez should be confident. He's right. He does have good stuff.
Oh, you have to be confident in this game. It's the hardest game in the world. And rightfully so, Wes Mendez. 1.97 ERA coming into this game. He's earned and worked for that confidence.
2-1 the count to Ryan Zuckerman. Mendez transferred in from Ole Miss a year ago, was the Sunday starter for Florida State. I was talking to their pitching coach, Micah Posey, for a little bit today. I said, what's been the biggest growth thing for Mendez, who clearly has a strong competitive streak? If you watched regionals last year, you saw it when he faced former conference foe Mississippi State. He certainly was animated. He said he's done a better job of controlling his emotions. Like, he pitches with emotion, he pitches with fire, but it's the changeup that's been the big difference. He misses there, the count goes full. It's always been good, but now he's really willing to lean on it in some big spots.
Yeah, for sure, and he added the cutter, and he's commanding this fastball better to both sides of the plate. Still mixes in the big breaking ball. He's a complete pitcher.
The 3-2, swing and a miss. To a breaking ball there to get the powerful Ryan Zuckerman on strikes to start the second.
Then you want to talk about confidence. 3-2 count right there. The changeup. He lands it. Says, here you go. Here's my best pitch. Comes out looking like a fastball. Good late action. Man, he's Micah Posey's right. He's a bulldog. And early on in his career, he was riding those highs when things would go really well. But now you can see, same fire, stays in the moment, knows, hey, I just have to execute my pitch.
Here's Will Baker, the sophomore from Australia. Takes the ball outside, 1-0. So here's the thing that's so interesting about Mendez, and maybe it's because of the changeup, Devin, but he is significantly better against right-handed hitters than lefties. Foul to the plate, we count 1-1. I mean, it is a marked difference. Like, listen, lefties don't hit him that well, but righties just don't touch this guy.
Yeah, and it's been a weird one to figure out, and it's not like the lefty numbers or anything that are of concern. His misses have been arm side with lefties, and lefties have been taking advantage of those misses when he did miss them in. They've been jumping him early on in the count. Last week versus Virginia, the 2 times he got hurt, it was on misses to the arm side. So the big focus is making sure when he throws his slider, when he throws his cutter, he's got to get it out over the plate.
Bouncer foul, and the count 2-2. 3 left-handed hitters, including Baker, in the lineup for Georgia Tech tonight. And the other thing that's incredible with Mendez is, for a guy who doesn't really get a ton of ground balls, he has given up just 1 home run this year. And you wonder if that plays a huge factor into tonight with his powerful Georgia Tech offense. In the dirt, the count is full.
He doesn't make a lot of mistakes over the heart of the plate. Just 4 extra base hits allowed on the year as well. He makes his pitches, and he focuses on the glove, and he's not worried about who's at the plate. As long as I execute my pitch, I trust my defense.
3-2 again, foul back. Baker fighting that one off.
This is a guy that I love to watch hit. He continues to get better and better. Came up with a ton of huge hits last year. Used to be crouched down a ton. Now he stands more upright. Strong guy, using the whole field, having a great at-bat here.
That one foul, and that'll reach the seats as well on the third base side. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of guys on this Georgia Tech roster that get off the bus and go, he must be a manager. They all look the part, don't they?
They're big, they are. And their BP's impressive, balls flying all over the field.
Baker swings and launches one deep to right field. And it is gone. Georgia Tech on the board on the solo blast from Will Baker. It's 3-1. We were just talking about the home run ball and how few Mendez has given up. Both have been to left-handed hitters this year.
And back-to-back starts as well. And you see it again, a breaking ball, left arm side, that's into a left-handed hitter. It starts in his cookie zone, bites away from his barrel. Just go ahead and turn, and they find the barrel, drives it out of the yard, 5th home run of the year. That's the big key. He has to get that cutter slider on the outer half of the plate.
Carson Kearse takes a strike. It's 0-1. Kearse hitting 8th in this lineup. As you see Baker, Kearse leads the nation in doubles. He's hitting 8th. Here's the 0-1.
Did you just say leads the nation in doubles and hitting 8th?
Yes, I said both those things. In fact, he's hit 9th for most of the season. Like, this is the thing when you start looking at Georgia Tech's offense is the numbers. Like, you can't create a team on MLB The Show that puts together numbers like this offense does. You have to laugh at it.
68 home runs, now 69. I mean, the 478 on base percentage, 32 games into a season. This is a historic offense.
Here comes the 1-2. Outside, 2-2. I mean, I would think if Mendez gets through this, giving Florida State 6 innings and fewer than 6 runs allowed, that would feel like a win, right? Like, I mean, that's what we're talking about, the level that Georgia Tech has played at. Kearse into left field, a base hit. A 1-out single. It'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Brocious.
And this is an offense that scores north of 11 runs a game, and a great piece of hitting right there by Kearse, knowing he's watching the last at bat. 2 strikes, the changeup, spin the pitch for him tonight. So he looks for the changeup, gets it, drives it out to left field. But this offense, man, it's just 1 through 9, one guy after the other. Pitchers never really get an opportunity to go, oh, this is the guy I want to face.
Yeah, they lead the tide with Georgia. Georgia has a healthy lead in home runs over, well, everybody in the nation this year. Devin's got 17 home runs for Georgia. He hasn't even played a game for them this year. The power is incredible. Parker Brocious, the senior, getting the start in left field with a lefty Mendez on the mound. He is a lefty masher, is Brocious.
He can really hit. I mean, he sure can, and that's a big reason he's in the lineup tonight. We talked about the reverse splits. They could have gone to Caleb Daniel, lefty. Wes Mendez struggles against him, but Parker Brocious, Ramsey betting on his guy, hitting north of 400 this year.
Inside 3-0. Brocious would probably be an everyday player on just about every other team in the ACC. If there were a baseball equivalent of the 6th Man Award, he would get it because he might be the most feared reserve in the ACC. The 3-0. He draws a walk, and the tying runs are aboard for the powerful Drew Burress. Just like that, the home run. He got Mendez off his game just a touch. He was cruising before that. But now traffic here for Georgia Tech, and here's Drew Burress, and with the All-American coming up, Micah Posey, the pitching coach for Florida State, is going to walk to the mound.
It's a big moment in this ball game. Drew Burress, you see, coming into this thing, 14 for his last 29. That's coming after a pretty cold streak. He was 1 for 29 leading up to it, but he's figured things out a bit. You know, I watched his BP here 2 weeks ago. It was a lot of balls pulled during BP. But today I saw a lot of balls to the right side, right center field gap. That's what Drew Burress is known for, controlling the strike zone, using the whole field. He's one of the best players in the country.
Micah Posey visiting on the mound, the outstanding pitching coach for Florida State. He was at Dallas Baptist before, which they have some arm talent almost every year at DBU. You see already 23 pitches for Wes Mendez in this inning. He's had to work, especially the last 3 hitters. You just outlined how dangerous Drew Burress is. I mean, these are a big series of pitches early in this game. 3-1 Florida State in the second. The first pitch to Burress. He takes the ball, 1-0.
Those are the pitches Drew Burress has been laying off of as of late, taking those marginal pitches early on in the count, looking for something in his zone.
He does not chase very often. He will swing and miss inside the zone as he takes low. The count 2-0. But when he hits a ball, it tends to stay hit. Now the Georgia Tech fans going full A&M on us tonight with the ball 7. Roller to third. Fisher will have one play to second. And Sheffield, for some reason, throw to first, but not in time. See, that wasn't a bad idea by Sheffield. Almost wondering if you're going to get the interference called second. And Link Jarrett is out to ask about this.
Yeah, immediately sliding through the bag. Entire Florida State dugout right away saying, hey, automatic double play.
Travis Godek, the second base umpire, talking with Jarrett. If you make contact, but you slide directly into the base and keep contact with it, boy, that's close, man. He got his hand back on the bag, but that was very close. I think Florida State has an argument here.
He slid past the bag, hand came off the bag, makes contact with Sheffield out at second base. That should have been.
I think it's one that could have gone either way for sure. I'm not going to fault Travis Godek on that. That's a tough play to call. But it certainly makes sense why Sheffield threw on it now, right? When you start to think of it that way.
You have to be able to hold the bag, though. When you slide through, hand comes off, has to go back to the bag, means he wasn't able to hold the bag, but that is a smart job by Sheffield, still throwing it.
So 2 outs, runners at the corners. 3-1 Florida State. Here's Vaughn Lackey. Lackey singled his first trip. First pitch, breaking ball strike. Good slow curve. It's 0-1.
That's the pitch. It's the pitch he goes to the least. The big curveball, uses it oftentimes to get ahead of hitters. Nice job landing that there.
Burris 3 of 7 in stolen base attempts from first. The 0-1. Down low, the count 1-1.
Big spot in this ball game. You think about momentum inside of a game. You got first and second after a home run. Georgia Tech, here they come. 2-0 on Burris. They get the ground ball. Big opportunity for momentum for Florida State here.
The 1-1. Breaking ball fouled away in the count 1-2. Lackey really coming open early on both of those last 2 pitches.
Yeah, he saw that breaking ball right there pop out of his hand. Took a chance on one. Had a nice piece of hitting, single back up the middle, last at bat with 2 strikes.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Mendez blows him away with a heater, and he pitches out of the jam. Georgia Tech gets on the board thanks to Will Baker.
Will Baker, beautiful piece of hitting right there, left on left. One of the best pitchers in the country. No problem for the Bake Man. 3-1. Knowles.
McNeese Baseball Park at Russ Chandler's Stadium. A sellout crowd tonight for the opener of this 3-game series. First time they've ever sold out an entire series in program history. They have been chomping at the bit to get Georgia Tech back to national prominence. And this is an incredible team. Last year they won the ACC regular season title. There's James Ramsey on the right. the former Florida State star and ACC Player of the Year in his first year as head coach at Georgia Tech. Last year, Danny Hall announced his retirement midway through the year. The club won the ACC regular season and then had to go on the road for a regional. They had to go to Oxford. That was a regional that Murray State ended up winning. But now there is some program momentum, and it is incredible. First of all, this is my first time here, Devo. This campus is great. This is like a dream come true for an urban campus. I was talking to Wiley Ballard, the great baseball broadcaster who's doing radio here, and he said the thing about Georgia Tech is it was here before the city built up. As Carnes goes down on strikes to start the third. And so there's a ton of green space around this campus, which you don't normally see. I'm from Chicago, DePaul, UIC. Those aren't necessarily places where you see a ton of green space, but there is here. This is a gorgeous campus and a terrific setting for baseball.
Sure is. It's a heck of a baseball program as well. Number 2 in the country. These fans have been chomping at the bit to see this program get back to national prominence, and they're here.
Kelvin Paulino takes a strike. It's 0-1. Grounded at a fielder's choice to end the first. Florida State with a 3-1 lead here in the third. They had a record midweek crowd 2 weeks ago against Auburn when Auburn was ranked 5th. Georgia Tech with a run rule victory that night against the Tigers as they split their annual midweeks this year. So more than 4,000 that night. I'm assuming we're going to be well over 4,000 tonight. Maybe approaching, like, let's just keep the fire department out of here, right? we don't need anybody starting to count the bodies.
No kidding.
Here's the 0-2. That missed low, the count 1-2. Well, that's part of what makes college baseball so great, too, is the environments. And we were talking about this. Like, it's way different seeing this game on, what is it, April 9th? Is it April 9th?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds good. Close enough. Than it is seeing a big league game on April 9th. The quality of play, incredible, like tons of fans, like all of that. But the juice in the ballpark for a series like this is so special.
You cannot beat college baseball. You really can. I mean, if I had the opportunity to play one more game in my career, the big leagues or college, no question I'd pick college baseball. Every game just means so much. You know, you think about a big league season, 162 games. You're tired. It's long travel. Well, in college, every single game could be the pivotal moment in which changes your season. And I know I enjoyed my time down in Tallahassee. What I'd do for one more chance to play college baseball on a Thursday night.
Here's the 2-2. Bouncer foul. I mean, we've had guys go to the G League and come back in college basketball. Maybe we can get you one more
I got 1 year. I got 1 year, right? Give me a ghost runner. I'm in. I'm in.
With the 11 knee surgeries, they're going to do you in?
Yeah, 11 knee surgeries, 3 shoulder. I'm ready. I'm ready. Come on, Mikey.
You've been rehabbing for a while.
Yeah, I'm still working, man.
2-2 on the ground to third. And Zuckerman will throw to first in time to get Paulino streaking down the line, 2 outs. That'll be up to Eli Putnam.
Mentioned the big inning last inning from Wes Mendez. A lot of pitches. 2 guys up, 2 guys down. Important right here for Putnam. Extend this inning. Give your pitcher a little bit longer of a break.
Putnam walked to start the 3-run rally for Florida State in the second. That gave them the lead. He takes a strike. It's 0-1. Key into the wind again. And he's ahead 0-2. This is the crispest the Keys look all night.
Yeah, that's a nice little pitch sequence right there. Fastball in. Cutter starts it at him. Front door. Now he can go anywhere he wants.
Here comes the 0-2. And it's 1-2 now to the right-handed hitting Putnam.
Putnam last at bat, fell down 1-2, laid off some tough pitches. Seen the ball well tonight against Tate McKee.
The pitch. swinging a pop-up on the infield. And Vincula will make the catch. And a 1-2-3 third for Tate McKee. We'll visit with Florida State head coach Link Jarrett next. It's 3-1 Florida State, middle three. Florida State as we head to the bottom of the third, joined now by Florida State head coach Link Jarrett. Wes Mendez getting out of that jam was really impressive in the second. What can you say about his competitiveness, Link?
Well, he loves to be out there, you could tell, and he grinds and battles and fights, and we talk about self-contained relief, like to extend your starts. If you want to be in this role and extend things, you have to at times be your own relief pitcher, and he's really had to do that, you know, in the first 2 innings. So we hope we can contain that pitch count. A quick one would sure help, but you know, with the experience and the capabilities of these hitters stacked really top to bottom of the lineup, you have to earn your outs.
Coach, what can you tell us about Johnny Abraham and the year that he's been able to put together so far?
It's fun to have a kid in the program for 3 years. It's enjoyable to watch the growth in all phases, much more physically imposing, stronger. He had the ability to spin the breaking ball when he got here, but he's really learned how to fine-tune that, develop how to use the fastball best, the good sinker, and the development of the changeup is probably the separator for him. That is really a good pitch. He's got good arm speed, so you have 3+ pitches. He does have a cutter that he uses, so there's a lot in play. And then the experience factor. He started a game in Omaha, and there aren't many people that can say that are now in their 3rd year. So the experience, likes to be out there, enjoys the relief role. He checks all the boxes.
He's been the best reliever in the ACC so far. Link, we appreciate the time. We'll let you get back to work. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Link.
Jarrett, the head coach of Florida State. Jared Vincula leads off with a base hit here for Georgia Tech in the 3rd. Link Jarrett, 4 years a starter at Florida State, coming home to take over the program after leading Notre Dame to Omaha in 2022. As this one fouled off, a long run for Sheffield, and it will fall just foul. You didn't get any help from Stutzer on that. That's not an easy play. I know you've got second baseman jitters on that one, right?
It's a tough one right there. Just in no man's land, and you know, you get to this time of night, the sun's just going down. It's balls that you really have to stay with. You see Chef right here just gets a bit tied up. Big key when you're running toward the fence, back from second base, you got to do your best to try to keep the ball in front of you. With the right-hand hitter, he let it get behind him. It shifted back to the line.
Yeah, Link Jarrett making notes. His defense and attention to detail are the 2 things that Link Jarrett really focuses on, and he is a top-flight infield instructor. I mean, we were talking about this afternoon. He probably spends as much time worrying about every single detail on the infield of just about any coach in America.
There's nothing that Link Jarrett misses, and you watch him during BP, he's always walking around the infield, spending time with his guys. He's one of the best teachers of the game of baseball that we have.
Liner to short and caught. And that's the first out. As Hernandez retired, and we'll bring up Kent Schmidt. Three hits so far, 4 hits for Georgia Tech, and half of them from left-handed hitters. Schmidt flied to right his first trip. Yeah, there's so much about Link Jarrett that, I mean, he's basically running the Mike Martin playbook. The legendary Florida State coach passed away a couple of years ago. He's the perfect kind of heir apparent for Mike. I mean, you played for 11. You know what it's like. You've been around Link. Are there things that he says that remind you of what Mike Martin said?
Big time, big time. And you mentioned the attention to detail and the care about every play. You know, I think back to my time with Coach Martin, and every single ground ball that I ever took at Florida State always, to me, felt like 11 treated it as if it was the ground ball that was going to get us back to Omaha. And when I watch these guys take reps, and I watch them between pitches and the way that they communicate, you can tell that every single pitch to them, they're trained well enough to know that every single pitch could be the difference in this season.
Take me through that a little more, because we talked to James Ramsey about that today, who obviously the Georgia Tech head coach, played at Florida State for Mike Martin too. But was that an idea that you should never take a playoff in practice? Is that where it came from? Yeah,
always. I mean, he always said every single pitch that would go by would be one less pitch in your career. And, you know, in practice, it was always super competitive. And I remember the days where me and Sherman Johnson and Justin Gonzalez, we used to go at it, and Mike Martin used to say, hey, who wants the ball to take us back to Omaha? And I think that just prepares you for these in-game moments. I mean, there's nothing really you can do to replicate big-time moments inside of a ball game. But in practice, if you make practice hard enough, then those big-time moments become fun. That's what he taught me.
2-2 the count to Kent Schmidt. A big pitch here. Instead of throw to first, the runner back. Crowd doesn't like Mendez controlling the running game. 3-1 Florida State, bottom of the third. Swing and a miss. That was a hanger, and Schmidt swung through it for out number 2.
Good old backup breaking ball, hardest pitch to hit. And in the game, you see Mendez with a little chuckle. Yeah, I meant to do it. Backup breaking ball is a breaking ball that you throw. It's supposed to rip like you want it to. It doesn't. It gets just to the side of the baseball. It bites back toward a left-handed hitter. Another strikeout for West.
Ryan Zuckerman, the powerful pit transfer, the third baseman, stands in. He is a physical presence. Terrific power hitter for 2 years for Mike Bell at Pitt, and transferred to Georgia Tech this winter, and you can see the offensive total is huge, and he's hitting 6th in the lineup. A strike, and the count 1-1. Now, there are strikeouts that come with that power, but few guys can change the scoreboard as quickly as him.
Yeah, I mean, when he really impacts the baseball, one of the highest exit velos in the entire country, balls in play 98 miles per hour. If you're going to strike out, you got to produce slug and homers and doubles, and Zuckerman, he definitely can do that.
He was a shortstop in high school. I want you to soak that in for a minute, because he is every bit of 6'4".
Every bit of it.
Really looks more like he could play small forward in the NBA. I realize small forwards are now 6'11", but still. Upstairs, it's 2-2. Mendez trying to get through this third inning with a 2-run lead. A Florida State ace ready. And the pitch. Swinging a bouncer foul. He's going to see a steady diet of spin, you would think, here.
Yeah, Wes Mendez, his best pitch is his changeup, but he's got 5 pitches. He added the cutter. It's a pitch that gets these hitters just off the fastball, the slider. It's been a good pitch as well. Seen a couple of the big breaking balls tonight. Georgia Tech doing a nice job racking up his pitch count, seeing a lot of pitches, but West, he's delivered the big pitch in the jams when he's needed to.
2-2 the count. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Changeup got him, and the inning is over. Leadoff single, a man left. We've played 3. Florida State leads 3-1. We'll talk to Georgia Tech head coach James Ramsey next. 2012 ACC Player of the Year at Florida State. He was the ABCA Co-Player of the Year that year, helping to lead Florida State to Omaha. And now he's trying to get the Georgia Tech program back there for the first time in 20 years. We're very pleased to be joined now by James Ramsey tonight. I know you guys have been waiting for this moment. What's this atmosphere like down there for you with this sellout crowd this evening?
Yeah, it's incredible. I think, just for everybody to get to experience it. We've shown signs of having packed out crowds, and this is everything you dream of, man. When you recruit guys and you ask them to come and battle and be part of big moments, it's here right out in front of us.
Rammer, best offense in the entire country, and Georgia Tech's been known for that ever since you got here. What has it been, though, about this crew that's made them so different?
They love to compete. I think that's the thing. These guys have a really good maturity about them. They come every day trying to get a little bit better. They push each other. They communicate really well. They know how to play the game hard. I think that's the thing is, as a coach, it's fun when you get to watch guys keep each other accountable of playing the game up to our standard. I mean, those are the best teams like we've been a part of.
Yeah. James, we appreciate the time. Best of luck tonight and enjoy this weekend.
All right, fellas, appreciate it.
All right, James Ramsey, the head coach at Georgia Tech. He's done a terrific job in his first season. Great recruiter, former roommate of yours. How's your heart feeling tonight? I mean, these are obviously you're a Knoll. Your brother was a Knoll. He was a great quarterback at Florida State. But you and Ram are close. You're like brothers. Are you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm hanging in there. I think I felt like I had nerves before this call, like I was playing in the playoffs again. Now Ramsey's one of my best friends in the world. He's one of the best people that I know, and obviously my love for Florida State runs incredibly deep. I think I tweeted it's my brother versus my blood, and man, oh man, it's pretty cool to watch, that's for sure.
Really to third, and Zuckerman will throw to first in time to get Stetzer 2 up, 2 down in the Florida State fourth. Now 6 in a row set down by Tate McKee, and here's Cal Fisher. Clubbed a 2-run homer the last time. What is it? Explain to people who don't know James Ramsey, maybe just seen him in interviews. He's certainly engaging. He's got great energy. Why do you think he is successful as a coach?
Well, I think there's 3 key things that make someone a good coach. I think that your players know that you, as the coach, you care about them. I think that the players know that they can trust you, and I think the easiest one is that players know that you can get them to be better baseball players, and Ramsey checks all 3 of those boxes. I mean, this is a family crew playing at Florida State. Everything was about family and the name on the front of your jersey. And it's not about your stats or what you see on the scoreboard under your name. It's about the wins. It's about the camaraderie. It's about how close we can grow together as a team, so when you get to the end of the season, nothing can break you. And I know he took a lot of that from 11. I know he took a lot of that from Coach Danny Hall, and I think he's going to be, if not already, he's going to be one of the best coaches in the entire country one day.
Yeah, we get a chance to catch up with Danny Hall on the field before the game. He was up at Augusta yesterday. That's not something he got to do at all,
I'm jealous.
Really. His 30 years coaching here, but had to spend some time with him, and he has to be very, very proud. Zuckerman to first, and 7 in a row set down by McKee. It's 3-1 Florida State as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Down 3-0 in the second. Will Baker got Georgia Tech a little closer. The Aussie with a solo shot. This powerful offense. 69th homer of the season. And he'll lead off in the fourth inning against Wes Mendez. Bottom third of the order for Georgia Tech against the Florida State ace.
Will Baker, left on left, homer last at bat. Saw a lot of pitches, saw every single one of Wes's pitches. 3-1. Starts him off with the slider right there.
It was
nasty.
Baker was looking for something a little harder as you get a look at. Here are the numbers on Florida State starters this year. Those are incredible.
Not bad.
Oh, yeah, a lot of that is Mendez. A lot of that is Trey Beard, who'll go tomorrow night, the lefty, the transfer from Florida Atlantic. And a lot of it is Bryson Moore, who is the reigning ACC Pitcher of the Week, who's going to go on Saturday. He was a transfer from Virginia. This is what's different about this Florida State team this year than maybe the last two. Last year, the rotation was good. Jamie Arnold, Dre Vellini, Mendez were very good. This is the best part of Florida State this year as their starting pitcher.
Yeah, and that's the most important part of good teams and teams that get on runs and teams that make it to Omaha and win national championships. You got to have great pitching. Some of the best starting pitching in the country.
Off the end of the bat to second, and Sheffield will throw low, and a nice pick out of the backhand by Putnam for out number one. Baker retired. We'll bring up Carson Kurz.
Putnam with a nice pick over there. First base, that's a natural position for him. He was playing out of position at second base at the beginning of this year. Defense, along with pitching. Those are the two most important things in the game of baseball. It's pitching, defense, base running, and timely hitting. Florida State, I believe they're capable of putting all four together.
Carson Kurz takes a strike. It's 0-1. He singled his last trip. 3-1 Florida State in the fourth. Yeah, this is one of those great, what's the old adage, right? Good pitching always beats good hitting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to find out this weekend a little bit about that, although I would say that this might be great hitting from Georgia Tech. What I'm curious about is Florida State's offense is not one of the elite offenses in the ACC. They weren't before Miles Bailey got hurt. They're certainly not now. They have not scored a ton of runs, but the pitching has been very good. This will be a tough play for McCulley. His throw first in time to get a nice job by the shortstop. 2 outs.
That's a heck of a play right there. McCulley can tee it up. No errors on the season. He's been the everyday shortstop. You got to have great defense behind your great pitching. It's a nice play.
Jared has to be thrilled there. He gave his infield defense a B today. I was asking him about it. He's a tough grader. He said outfield, he's like, we've got two guys that can fly on the corners in Stutzer and Williams. He's absolutely right. Dowd is a really solid center fielder. But they've had to realign with Bailey being out. You mentioned Putnam goes from second to first. Noah Sheffield, who played a little bit outfield, goes to second. But maybe the biggest thing was moving Cal Fisher back to third base, which is where he played last year. Fisher had struggled a little bit both offensively and defensively, and that's like Carter McCulley, listen, is not going to be a terrific offensive player, but he is a steady defender at shortstop. And I wonder if you see the defense on the infield pick up as a result of this.
I think that's a great point. And you mentioned Cal Fisher, and you think about making the transition from very demanding defensive position at shortstop. He goes back home to third base, and we see the offense starting to tick back up because that pressure of playing shortstop's off his mind.
Last year, Alex Lodis, Drew Farrow up the middle last 2 seasons for Florida State. Played defense at a very, very high level. Both of them were excellent defensive players. And so it's a little bit of a transition, but you have a sophomore in Sheffield and a senior at short, McCulley. And so we'll see how this plays out, but certainly Sheffield has the athleticism to be a pretty good defender, it feels like.
Yeah, he sure does. He sure does. You mentioned Lodis and Bailey at first last year. We don't talk about Bailey's defense enough. I'm telling you, he's one of the best defensive first basemen in the country. He had Drew Farrow at second, Cal at third. No wonder this defense gets a B.
That would foul away. Well, losing Bailey hurt part of that. And again, he was such a huge presence on both sides. I mean, he was a massive target at first base, too. I mean, every bit of 6'5" with long arms and legs. But Putnam has played a nice first base and clearly has good enough hands at the position. Fouled away. Brocious stays alive.
We've talked about Bailey's big adjustment offensively throughout his freshman into his sophomore year. But coming in defensively, I think it's just something that we've missed a bit. That defense over at first base has really improved a ton.
Count goes full to Brocious, the number 9 hitter. Batting with 2 outs here in the 4th, trying to get the lineup turned over. 9th pitch of the at-bat coming.
Sitting at 78 pitches, here comes 79.
Fouled away. And if not anything else, Brocious is working up the pitch count of Mendez here.
Big goal for Georgia Tech. They want to get in the bullpen. I mean, it's screamed all at the beginning of a game, especially the big games. Hey, let's find a way to get in the bullpen. Well, 80 pitches through 4 is a good start.
Outside, ball 4. What an at-bat from Brocious as he draws the walk with 2 outs here in the 4th, and it'll turn things over for Drew Burris.
Excellent at-bat. Excellent, excellent. It's big time. Very rarely do walks show up on a scorecard and you go, oh man, that's the at-bat. But it's at-bats like that stand out for this Georgia Tech club.
Yeah, the first 2 outs on just 7 pitches, and then that long at bat, and now here's Burris. Burris took a big swing 2-0 and hit into a fielder's choice in the 2nd. He is 0 for 2. He takes low 1-0. First weekend of his college career, Drew Burris hit 4 homers in a game. He announced his presence with authority. Freshman record for home runs at Georgia Tech. He is closing in on the all-time Georgia Tech home run record. Currently held by Jason Varitek. He's just 7 home runs, I believe, shy of that right now. And this is a big spot for Burris, who was viewed as a top 10 player coming into this season for the draft. See, Varitek's number had a great 4-year career here. But I have to think that the pressure, you see the numbers have been great still this year. It's amazing. We're talking about a guy with 1,000 OPS, right? And they're like, yeah, you know what? He hasn't had that great a year. But I think by Burris's standards, he would say that too.
Yeah. Without question. I mean, it's the draft pressure going into your junior year is real.
Popped up, foul, and out of play. That was a huge cut by Burris. He does not get cheated. He never has. Going back to his high school days, I remember seeing him in perfect game tournaments, and he was the little guy that took the massive swings, huge hacks. He has always had big power. He is maybe 5'8". Swings and misses, it's 1 and 2. And right now you can see these are at bats of a guy who's trying to do it. Like, this isn't about the draft right now. This is about, I'm trying to get you to Omaha here today.
Yeah, I mean, Wes Mendez there too makes a pretty incredible pitch, a cutter at your back foot.
The 1-2 off the end of the bat and foul.
You know, he's for me, I think you make a great point. Like, he takes those big hacks. I think of Bo Bichette. I mean, they take their big hacks early on in the count, and then they get to 2 strikes, and they tighten up their strike zone, and they minimize the big swings, and they have their hands ready earlier, ready to fire, just trying to put the ball in play when he's still getting on base at a 460 clip.
Swing and a miss. Good changeup from Mendez. Burris down on strikes, and the inning is over. We've played floor. Florida State trying to pull the upset tonight. They lead Georgia Tech 3-1. Thanks to Wes Mendez. Cambio.
Nasty cambio. One of the best pitches in the country. Gets Drew Burris.
Sellout crowd tonight at McNeese Baseball Park, Russ Chandler Stadium, the Rusty C. Georgia Tech and Florida State, the top 5 battle. Tate McKee has started to settle in. He's given up just one base runner since a Cal Fisher 2-run home run in the second. You see the numbers for Georgia Tech's pitching. Their bullpen has been better than their starters this year. Now, those starters' innings per game, I think, put a little bit of an asterisk on it. It doesn't apply to McKee. Saturdays have been a little bit of an issue for them so far this year. Jason Blakely certainly seems that he is starting to get things settled in on Sundays for them. But I think one of the big questions that everybody across the country has about Georgia Tech is, yeah, you've got this incredible offense. Like, this is one of the best. This is the best offense in the country. I'm not even going to say, like, let's forget the qualifiers, Devo. They are the best offense in the country. I'm not sure that I would take anybody. Like, UCLA's got a lot of talent in their lineup. I'm not sure it's to the level that Georgia Tech is. But the question is always pitching. Do they have enough pitching? And if so, why do they have enough pitching to get them to Omaha? Why do you think that?
Certainly they do. And the pitching's, ever since Matt Taylor, the pitching coach here, has come, the pitching's continue to get better and better. And I think a big reason for those starting pitchers' numbers, innings being so low, well, Porter Bursama, they were building him up slowly. And Jackson Blakely, they were building him up slowly. They have a ton of talent on this team and a ton of talent in the back end of that bullpen. They have Mason Patel, one of the best firemen in the entire country. Brett Barfield, Caden Gaudette, and 2 walk-ons, 2 guys that have continued to get better and better throughout their career. I don't think there's a question on if they have the talent in that bullpen to get it done. I think it's been proven up to this point.
What makes Matt Taylor special? You worked with him in the Braves organization. So what is it about him that makes him a good pitching coach? And leadoff man McCulley strikes out swinging on the check swing, 1 out.
He's so smart. He is. I mean, he's a big numbers guy. He digs into the analytics. He also played, so he has that innate ability to connect the numbers with the fact that he did play and he pitched at the collegiate level. And I think that he just has a great way to speak to his players and get them to understand what it is that they need to work on, maybe without confusing them too much, just keeping it simple.
First pitch is a breaking ball that misses to Braden Dowd. It's 1-0. Dowd 1 for 2. Florida State with a 3-1 lead here in the 5th. McKee, after that rough second inning, has really settled in. This looks like the Tate McKee we have seen for most of the year for Georgia Tech. It's part of what gives them hope in a postseason series is that they have a legit Friday due. And went outside in the count 2-0. I was looking at some numbers today on Georgia Tech's pitching staff. They're middle of the pack in walk rates, about average-ish. As Dowd sends it to center, Burris gets a good jump and a headlong diving catch for out number 2. Wow, what a play by Drew Burris. He had a great read.
And tell you what, but the Superstars defense never sleeps. That is a great read right there off the end of the bat. Lower flight ball, the toughest ball to read for outfielders. And right away, great read, great first step, great ball player.
2 outs for Noah Sheffield. Sheffield 0 for 2. Takes it the dirt, the count 1-0. I wanted to just hit on this quick here. Georgia Tech, middle of the pack in walk rate. They're 32nd in the nation in strikeout rate. And that's what really got my attention, is that they're missing bats, I think, at a higher clip than they get credit for. And that's one of the things why I would be bullish on their pitching in the postseason. Missed bats is a really good way to win ball games.
Yes, it is. And I think a big reason for that is you get to 3-1 counts, 3-2 counts in today's game. It's no longer like it used to be where you just get served up a fastball. 3-1, 3-2 counts, oftentimes you're willing to pitch like it's 1-2, 0-2. You're willing to give up the walk in exchange for not giving up the long ball. So once again, I think that plays into analytics and the pitch calling from Matt Taylor.
The 1-2 to Sheffield, swing and a miss. McKee with a scream, and 10 in a row set down by the Yellow Jackets ace.
Tate McKee, the ace, the guy that just keeps getting better and better. Thursday nights, Friday nights, doesn't matter. He's locked in.
know they have a good team this year, and I'm excited. I think Florida State's a great program, and it's always a fun weekend against them.
I mean, Ramsey's been kind of looking forward to that series all year. He's been talking about it. I'm just excited for the atmosphere here because I know it's going to be a packed-out crowd, and nobody can miss that ACC matchup, so it's going to be fun.
Florida State is one of the teams that historically are really good. I think for me and our team, we're really excited to play and rise up to the challenge.
Part of the order for Georgia Tech, talking about this matchup this weekend with Florida State. Vaughn Lackey gets things started. Lackey, Advincula, Hernandez against Wes Mendez for a third time. And the count 1-1. Wes Mendez has done a terrific job tonight. There's been traffic in every inning, but he has pitched around it. Florida State needs him to be awesome tonight to get this win.
No doubt there's going to be traffic with this Georgia Tech offense, but the Aces, they find a way to get out of those big jams. It's been the changeup tonight. 6 strikeouts, 5 of them coming on that changeup. He's got them located well. He's commanded the fastball. He has them looking hard just enough. It's been sharp.
If there's one knock, it's that the pitch count is a little bit high. This next one will be his 90th of the night. His season high for pitches thrown in a game is 104. That was 2 weeks ago against Duke. His career high is 105. So he might be reaching the end of his outing after this inning. That one just missed and the count is full.
Changing his eye level.
As you look it into the catcher's glove, and sometimes you look it all the way to the screen.
That's right.
Called strike 3. Backdoor breaking ball. Lackey thought it was ball 4, but Mendez gets a strikeout, and the leadoff man gone on the Georgia Tech 5th.
A great pitch right there. Second strikeout looking of the night for Wes Mendez. A little backdoor cutter. Fastball goes up, no problem. I'll change his eye level. I'll go down there. Lackey gives up on it early. Nice job behind the plate by Carnsey. Hey, Swaggy, man.
He does not lack for confidence, does he, on the mound?
No.
You gotta love it. And
So
Vicula
fun.
takes ball 1.
Playing behind guys that pitch with that confidence and swagger. Tate McKee on the other side, very similar to Georgia Tech.
Mendez strikes me the kind of guy at a family gathering that you'll be playing like hearts with him, and he'll shoot the moon constantly and let you hear about it the entire time, right? Like,
Yeah. He'll let you know. Not afraid to let the other team know either.
I want you to know that we're playing checkers, but I'm good at checkers, and I'm going to beat you at checkers.
That's right.
And every time that I take another one of your pieces, you're going to hear about it.
That's right.
And there's nothing you can do because he's just better than you.
Well said.
In the air to right, Stutzer there for out number 2. And it'll be up to Alex Hernandez for Georgia Tech, trailing 3-1. Mendez has shut down this high-powered Yellow Jackets offense to this point. He has given up just a solo home run to Will Baker. He's walked a pair. Everything else has been singles. There's a strike. I think he hasn't had is a 1-2-3 inning.
Georgia Tech creates traffic. Four times runners in scoring position tonight. 0 for 4 for Georgia Tech. So he's made his pitches when he's needed to.
0-2 the count. Now the question has to start being for like Jared, how much longer do you go with Mendez? And then how quickly do you get to John Abraham?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely the biggest question. And you know, anytime Florida State has a lead, especially the first game of the series, they're looking to get to Abraham. Wes Mendez, he can eat up innings. There hasn't been a start this year that he hasn't gone at least 5. You mentioned the season high in pitches. They're not afraid to let him go. He did pitch on one-day short rest last week. I think the biggest thing in all of this is how Wes Mendez feels.
This is low, the count 2-2.
Conversation after this inning, probably right away. Wes comes in, he goes, he sits down. Micah goes over to him. Hey, Wes, how you feeling? You want another one? That'll be the determining factor.
2-2, called strike 3. Back Back-to-back strikeout looking, or 2 strikeout looking in the inning for Mendez, and his first 1-2-3 frame to end the 5th.
That's what the good pitchers can do. It's been the changeup tonight, but this inning, 2 strikeouts, both looking. Backdoor, cutters. He's got it all going tonight.
Tomorrow, Game 2 of this 3-game series between 5th-ranked Florida State, 3rd-ranked Georgia Tech here on ACC Network, 8 Eastern. Saturday's finale, 3 Eastern on ACCNX. Evan and I will be here again tomorrow night. Second game of this series. The first time 2 top 5 teams have met in Atlanta since 2009.
It's hard to believe.
You know, it's been 20 years since Georgia Tech went to Omaha. It has been 20 years since they won a regional.
That's
They haven't
crazy.
been to Supers since 2006.
That doesn't even sound like it's possible.
Consistently in regionals every year, but this is one of the best Georgia Tech teams on paper that we've seen. I mean, you have to go back really almost to Danny Hall's first year when he had Veritek, Jason Veritek, Nomar Garcia-Parra, Jay Payton were here. I mean, that was an incredible squad. This one trying to make a little history. Tate McKee's falling behind 3-1. So far, this great offense has been silenced by Wes Mendez. McKee's falling behind Carnes. He gets back in the count. The count is full.
Tate McKee's retired 10 in a row. Last thing you want is a leadoff walk. Got to attack here. Trust your sinker. Down in the zone. Be a ground ball guy.
The payoff to Carnes. Fouled away. Carnes, a Jacksonville native. Caden Gaudette beginning to get loose in the Georgia Tech bullpen. You see McKee at 87 pitches here. This will be the 88th of the night in the top of the 6th. And a grounder to short. Curse will throw him out. Leadoff man gone in the Florida State 6th.
Make it 11 in a row right there for Tate McKee. The good ones, man, the good ones. You get to a 3-2 count. You got a very talented hitter at the plate in Carnes. The good ones, they trust their stuff. Hey, I'm a sinker baller guy. Here goes a fastball. I trust my stuff. Gets the ground ball.
Walk, single, caught stealing, double homer in the 2nd. And since then, he's given up 1 base runner.
Settled in nicely.
Paulino sends that down the right field line and out of play. It's 0-1. Problem is that Wes Mendez has been up to the challenge for Georgia Tech. The problem for Georgia Tech's offense, I should say, has been up to the challenge for Florida State, and has out-dueled McKee to this point. And count 1-1. The pitch. And the count 1-2. Boy, every time he has gone outside the strike zone, these last 4 innings, he's come right back, and it feels like that sinker has been the main call.
Yeah, for sure. The sinker, the changeup's the pitch that he's added. It used to be more four-seam action.
Gets him to chase a breaking ball, 2 outs.
And that's what the sinker does for you. That's what the changeup does for you. Four-seam fastballs, they stay straight, so he has everything lined up down the center lane. He goes sinker, starts middle, bites into a righty. Next pitch, starts middle, hard slider, down and away, gets a swing and a miss. Tate McKee, man, 6 pitches he can command. He's got great stuff.
Eli Putnam walked and scored the first Florida State run in the second, and he swings and misses that breaking ball. It's 0-1.
He's finding his rhythm. He really is. 11 in a row, landing all his pitches. When he's behind in the count, he fires strikes.
Backhanded by Zuckerman. He throws across. 13 in a row set down by Tate McKee. He's keeping Georgia Tech in this game as they trail Florida State 3-1 heading to the bottom of the 6th. Down the top offense of the country so far tonight.
Yeah, he's had it all working tonight. He's been able to land all his pitches. He established the fastball early. After that, it's been a lot of soft stuff. He's starting stuff in the zone. It's biting down out of the zone. He's given up 4 hits, just a single solo home run, but in the big situations, he's delivered.
He's got a 3-1 lead as he starts the 6th at 99 pitches. See the numbers for the lefty ace. The first pitch misses outside to Kent Schmidt. It'll be Schmidt, Ryan Zuckerman, and Will Baker. So the reigning ACC batting champion, the top home run hitter in the lineup for Georgia Tech, and the guy that clipped him for a solo blast of the second. And if he's going to get through this inning, he's going to earn 6 strong frames tonight. 1-1. The strike and the count 1-2.
Well located fastball right there. That's the key. Fastball to the glove slide against those lefties. Now that he's established that glove side fastball, look for the cutter slider to work off that.
Here's the 1-2. Schmidt takes outside. It's 2-2. Kent Schmidt tonight 0 for 2, including a strikeout. The pitch, foul back. And now Mendez will match his career high in pitches thrown in an outing with this next offering.
And 5 straight fastballs here to the lefty.
Two. Breaking ball missed high, and the count is full.
Big situation here, left on left, leadoff guy. Don't want leadoff walks, got a challenge.
Payoff. Called strike 3. Fastball had all of the plate, and strikeout number 9 for Mendez to start the 6th.
And when you live in the strike zone and you've attacked the strike zone all night, oftentimes you get the borderline pitches. That's about as borderline as it gets. Right there, a nice job behind the plate by Carnes. Pulling that ball up. Looked like that ball may have been a bit down, but he's established the strike zone tonight.
Here's Zuckerman, who swings and misses the first pitch. It's 0-1. Zuckerman tonight has punched out twice. There is action on the Florida State pen. Their relief ace, John Abraham, getting loose. Zuckerman lines it into left. A base hit, and he'll bring up the tying run in Baker.
Such a great job of hitting right there by Zuckerman. Struck out his first 2 at-bats on the changeup. Gets back-to-back changeups right there, looking for it. Smart hitter. Nice piece of hitting.
And now an offensive timeout for Georgia Tech, as James Ramsey's going to gather the troops. Now you have the lefty Baker coming up. He clipped Mendez for a home run. There's Abraham, the relief ace. 4 innings is his longest outing of the year. That was last week against Virginia last Friday in their win over the Cavaliers. This is a really important at bat here because you pointed this out before the game started, Devo. Mendez has been significantly better against righties than lefties. Both home runs he's allowed this year are to left-handed hitters, including one to Baker tonight.
Yeah, and it was on a pitch that he left arm side in. A breaking ball hanging on the inner half of the plate. You got a lefty here up, and Will Baker, Florida State, they're going to trust their guy. Left on left here, sure, the numbers, say whatever they want to say. We trust our ace with 2 righties coming up behind him.
First pitch. Baker takes outside, 1-0. Fastball velocity starting to drop now for Mendez as he reaches a career high in pitches thrown. Tying run at the plate, 1 out in the 6th. The pitch. Misses again, it's 2-0. And this might end up being the biggest pitch of the night for Wes Mendez, this team leading by a pair.
You can see Wes starting to run out of gas here, missing breaking balls up in the zone.
2-0. 3-0.
Gas here, don't be surprised. You hit a homer tonight, you earn the right on a 3-0 count. Look middle. Tying run at the plate.
Baker squares and takes a strike. It's 3-1. But that looked like a pretty good hit to hit.
Yeah.
Last inning, Mendez's best fastball was 94. He has scraped 90 in this frame. 3-1 the count. The pitch. Fouled away. A little tardy on that fastball, and the count is full.
Fastball dotted away right there, bumped it up to 91. I think you go fastball away here. Last thing you ever want to do is get beat to the pull side here. Situation with the tying run at home plate. Got to be something on the outer half.
The payoff. Swinging a liner into right field. That's a base hit. Zuckerman will go to second, and the tying runs are aboard in the 6th for Georgia Tech with 1 out. And now the question is, will Link Jarrett go and get his ace?
I'm thinking so. 114 pitches. You can tell he's starting to run out of juice. Once again, you see it right there. Fastball misses arm side on the inner half of the plate. Will Baker short to it. Nice piece of hitting.
He's going to stick with him for now. John Abraham getting loose is split neutral, is good against righties and lefties. Carson Kearse has a base hit and 2 trips. And now here comes Micah Posey. And we'll see whether or not this is going to be it for Mendez. 114 pitches. It certainly feels like this is the pressure point in the game.
This is the spot where they go to Abraham.
And he will. Wes Mendez, a terrific performance tonight. He's responsible for the 2 men on. But he is brilliant this evening against this Georgia Tech offense. The ACC's best reliever is coming in. Florida State leading Georgia Tech 3-1. than 50 scouts in attendance tonight, and a lot of them here to see Wes Mendez. He did not disappoint. 5 1/3 strong innings, allowing just 1 run against the best offense in the country.
It was fantastic tonight. He established all of his pitches, gave his team a great chance to win this ball game. His changeup tonight was the big pitch. He had it locked in.
And now all he can do is pace and find a good karma spot as John Abraham takes over. Abraham has been the best reliever in the ACC this year in his 3rd year at Florida State. Look at those numbers.
Just 2 earned runs allowed all year, 43 strikeouts and 29 1/3 innings pitched. Season high last week against Virginia on Friday, 4 innings pitched, 69 pitches, no runs allowed. Coming in a big situation here. This is their go-to guy. Anytime they have a lead late in the ball game, they're going to Johnny Abraham, coming in a big spot against the nation's leader in doubles.
Carson Kearse hits, tying runs aboard with 1 out in the 6th. Kearse 1 for 2. The Georgia Tech shortstop digs in. The first pitch from the righty, Abraham. Down low ball, it's 1-0.
And it's a big fastball. He'll run it into the upper 90s. He'll sit in the mid 90s. Link talked about him adding that changeup. It's been the big pitch for him. Also a nasty breaking ball.
The 1-0. A strike, and the count 1-1. It'll be mostly fastball, curveball against righties. And that's the big thing, is like, how does he get back into counts, and what does he do now here? And a big pitch, 1-1. The pitch, swing and a miss. He was just swinging a fastball regardless of where it was. It's 1-2.
That's nasty right there. Run and sink, fastball in. Love to see that out of Johnny Abraham. I think early on in his career, it was a lot of breaking balls, a lot of soft stuff. He's got a big arm. Use that fastball in, hardest pitch for.
And a balk. They're just going to call a balk. He started his delivery and then didn't stop. He just flinched on the mound, and it puts 2 men in scoring position. It was very clear. That's a tough one, and you can tell he's shaking his head. That was accidental, but he absolutely balked. And now the tying runs are in scoring position.
And that's huge. That's huge.
A start and a stop. The set. And the 1-2 to Kearse. Swinging a grounder to short. That's going to bring home a run. Kearse beats it out. No, he's out at first. They're going to end up going to replay on this one. Kearse thought he beat it out. It's a 3-2 game, and I think he's going to be right that he beat it out.
I think you're right.
That was a very, very tough play for McCulley. It was not hit very hard. Kearse runs well. And I think they're going to the replay here, and we're going to get another look at it here.
It's a do or die play out at shortstop by McCulley. Yeah, safe.
He beat it. It's going to be an infield single and a 1-run game. And the tying run at 3rd with 1 out.
And the balk, they make you pay. Runners move up a spot. 2 strikes, got to find a way to put the ball in play. Kearse did. Have an infield single here in an RBI, 3-2 game.
Either way, the run is going to score. We're going to get another look here. That first angle we had it pretty clearly.
Yeah.
You can see there, yeah. The ball is not even to the glove. It should not take much longer. Ryan Miller, Reed Bassner, our home plate and third base umpire. Getting a look at it, and here we'll get the call. He is safe at first. It's a 1-run game. And runners at the corners with 1 out. And now the tying run 90 feet away for Parker Broaches. So the senior will hit in this spot.
Georgia Tech, not a team that plays a ton of small ball, but first and third. Just one out. Safety squeeze. It's indefensible. Look for some action from Georgia Tech.
Very short lead at third from Baker. And he squares the bunt, pulls back and takes the ball 1-0.
Yeah, it's an indefensible play, first and third. You got the first baseman holding the runner on at first base.
Divo, give me an idea of how far you want to get off the bag. The third baseman's playing off the bag a little bit, right? How far do you want to get down? Because Baker had a very short lead on that first pitch.
I tell you what, that's a great point. If you look where Cal is playing, you can at the very least get as far from third base with your lead as Cal is. He can get a ton more. Any ball down here is good.
Brocious pulls back, it gets away from Carnes. A late break, and he'll still come home to score. Curse to third, he's safe. Florida State's gonna challenge. Chase Williams is convinced he was out at third, but what a daring attempt by Curse to go first to third on the game-time wild pitch.
Wow. A lot going on in that play right there. See him show early with the bunt, letting him know, yeah, I'm putting the bunt down first and third. I don't think you can defend it. You see a ball down, you got it easily, no problem there, but with one out, it's important. Try to get to third base with less than 2 outs. Kirsch chances it, gets the call. Over at third base, we'll take a good look at it right here.
Boy, I think he may have beaten it, Devo. I thought in real time it was very close.
He's in there.
I think he's safe. What a daring run by Curse. You know, that importance of getting a man to third with 1 out. That is unbelievable base running by Carson Curse.
That is unbelievable, and he never broke his stride at all, rounding second base. It's a smart team. That's a great job by McCulley, getting over to third base as well. Carnes got to the ball pretty quickly, but Curse, aggression.
So replay review here. Florida State challenging the call at third base. Get one more look at the runner going to third here. The call at third base was safe.
I don't see how you overturn it.
Yeah, it's tough. I think this probably ends up as call stands, but it certainly felt like on that view that his hand was to the base. Now the question is, like, did he get him on the shoulder? This is the part that I think is tough. From the other angle, it looks like he gets him on the front of the shoulder. It's clear here that he tags him on the back of the shoulder. That's very difficult to see that getting overturned.
And if you saw McCulley right there trying to get over to third base, he's behind the bag. If he can at least get to straddling the bag, that tag, that split second could have made a difference, but I don't see any way they overturned that call.
Just awaiting word from the umpires. They're going to take a very, very close look at this for a long time. It is a huge call in the game, as it is. Georgia Tech has tied the game. Things starting to get a little heated on the first base side. And now we get the call here. Saying there was a bit of a disagreement on the first base side. There's Brian Miller, our home plate umpire. Safe at third. The call stands. Carson Curse going first to third on the wild pitch. And now the count 2-0 on Parker Brocious. Here's the whole play. Watch this again. Watch Curse. The run's going to come home. Curse never hesitated. That ball got as far from home plate as it possibly could, and it was a terrific throw from Carnes, but what a great base running decision by Carson Curse.
Savvy play, heady player. He knew the whole time he was not breaking stride there. He rounds second base, peeks up just a bit. Saw Carnes still wasn't to the ball. No one at third base. He felt like a foot race. He could catch and beat McCulley, and he did.
2-0 the count to Brocious. He's going to square to bunt with the infield coming in. And now pulls back and takes a strike. It's 2-1. He showed it really early. Fisher bluffed to go towards third to try and keep Kearse close. We know that Carson Kearse is an aggressive base runner. The 2-1. Brocious takes a strike. It's 2-2.
Florida State with the infield drawn in a tie ball game late. You got the number 9 guy at the plate. If you're a hitter here, you're hunting something up in the zone. You're just trying to hit a ground ball right back through the middle. Showing bunt here.
2-2. And he bunts foul for strike 3, and that's the second out. So after taking the bunt off, 2-0, they go back to it with 2 strikes, and Brocious can't get it down.
Yeah, I don't really know what was going on there. The logic of that, I was thinking maybe he shows bunt early and he goes ahead and pulls it back and takes a rip. I have no idea.
It's been a quiet night for Drew Burress, 0 for 3. Go-ahead run at third with 2 outs in the Georgia Tech 6th. This powerful team has used small ball to get back in the game. Burress swings and fouls it back. It's 0-1. They are really trying to tie him up.
He's doing a nice job getting that fastball in the inner half of the plate, the fastball in. It's the quickest decision you make. Johnny Abraham, we know about the really good curveball, really good slider. Added the changeup, and now that he sped him up, set you up for your breaking stuff.
Big shift on, a huge hole in the right side for Burress. He takes inside and the count 1-1. They have moved Sheffield all the way to the shortstop position. The third baseman Fisher guarding the line at third.
3 defenders on the left side. We'll see if they pitch into that shift. Go back to the breaking ball.
First 2 pitches have been inside to him. Breaking ball fouled away in the count 1-2.
Nasty pitch there, a little changeup on the inner half of the plate.
Now Abraham trying to keep this a 3-3 game. There you see the shift. I mean, that is as far over as you will ever see a second baseman play.
With that sinking action from Johnny Abraham's fastball and changeup. Hard to shoot that pitch the other way.
1-2, he pops it up. Stutzer racing in, still coming, can't get there, it's a base hit. Georgia Tech takes the lead. The throwback behind the runner Burress at first. He's safe as he knocks over Putnam, but an RBI blue base hit for Drew Burress has given Georgia Tech the lead.
Crazy game, man. You were just talking about that shift. You got 3 defenders on the left side. The second baseman, if he's playing straight up, that ball's easily caught. But they play to the shift, and Drew, he gets lucky. Hits it in the perfect spot. No man's land. RBI single, Georgia Tech, 4-3.
I mean, the fact that Sheffield got near that ball at all was incredible. As much room as he had to cover to get there. Stutzer was playing so deep he didn't have a prayer, and now Lackey, diving stop by Putnam, races to the bag for the out, and the inning is over. Georgia Tech gets the lead, using small ball to do it. We head to the 7th, 4-3 Yellow Jackets. kept Georgia Tech in this game.
He's fantastic tonight. Just one inning where they scored 3 runs, gave up a 2-run homer, but he answered. Set out an incredible, retired 13 in a row to end his day.
And he will turn things over to Georgia Tech's relief ace, Mason Patel. A year ago at this time, Patel was one of the leading candidates for ACC Pitcher of the Year. And now he has started and relieved this season, but he is the most important arm in this bullpen for Georgia Tech. And because of just a bizarre 3-run rally, he's now pitching with a lead.
That was a crazy inning, and we mentioned Johnny Abraham on the other side. Well, Mason Patel, pretty good, a fireman, a guy that can go long innings. Had a little bit of an injury early on in the season, but he's back healthy. He's landing all of his pitches, will throw any pitch in any count. Attacks, does not walk many guys, and that's a big key here in a 1-run game. No free passes.
Chase Williams will lead things off, the switch hitting left fielder with great speed for Florida State. First pitch from Patel is hit in the air to left. There's Brocious, who will make the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out in the Florida State 7th.
Dream start there for Georgia Tech. Coming off after a big inning where Georgia Tech scores 3. Florida State makes 1 pitch, 1 out.
Chase Williams really hearing it from the Georgia Tech fans. He was so emphatic about wanting a replay review on that wild pitch to Curse. They were letting him know what they felt about it.
Those fans are fired up today.
It's John Stutzer, RBI double. Stutzer in the air to left, way back, Brocious to the fence, and he's got it for out number 2. One more biscuit for breakfast, and John Stutzer would have tied this game.
Oof. 2 pitches, 2 breaking balls, 2 good-looking swings. Mason Patel says good.
I'm not used to ACC ballparks holding balls like that, but it has gotten a little, I don't know, is it misty in here? Smoky? Somebody set off fireworks? It feels like the Marine Lake has come in. As Florida State's going to use a timeout. Time of day is here. Sellout crowd tonight in Atlanta. First time a series has ever sold out at McNeese Baseball Park. First top 5 matchup here for Georgia Tech since 2009. At the bottom of the 6th inning. Very bizarre, but it gave these Tech fans a lot to cheer about. Cal Fisher with a 2-run home run tonight. First pitch from the righty Patel. Fisher takes a strike. It's 0-1. It was clear he was going to be taken the whole way after that offensive timeout.
Yeah, no doubt. 2 pitches, 2 outs, long inning. Johnny Abraham had to work quite a bit. Looking to extend the inning here for Florida State.
Down low, 1-1. Fisher is off to a slow start this year, starting to get it tuned up a little bit. He does have power. He can tie the game with 1 swing. He gets tied up there by Patel. It's 1-2.
Well-located fastball right there, right on the inner half of the plate. Cal Fisher with the 2-run home run tonight. Jumped on a first pitch cutter from Tate McKee.
Here comes the 1-2 from Patel. It hit him. Hit him on the hand. A 2-out hit by pitch. And that's the first base runner for Florida State since Braden Dowd singled with 2 outs in the 2nd.
Had been 15 in a row retired by Georgia Tech pitching. A fastball right there that just got away from Patel. Tried to go up with it. Just took off on him.
Georgia Tech is going to challenge whether or not that hit him. I thought it was pretty clear it got him on the hand.
Yeah, for sure. A little bit of a delayed reaction, though, by Cal Fisher, I think. Big reason for the challenge there.
Yeah, he just baited Georgia Tech into using a challenge.
He wasted that challenge.
And I think it's going to give John Abraham a little bit more of a breather after the first 2 outs were recorded on 2 pitches.
Great point.
I think it was pretty clear.
Right off
You?
the fingers. Right off the fingers. Yep.
A couple of softball series finales coming up on Sunday. 12th ranked Virginia Tech will take on rival Virginia in the next chapter of the Commonwealth Clash. That's at 4 Eastern. And NC State will host Cal at 6 Eastern. Both games right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Bunch of challenges, bunch of weird plays. The last 5 outs of this game have been.
That bottom of the 6th inning was wild.
Yeah, it's come to a screeching halt, but in an unbelievably entertaining way. Yeah, I was raising my eyebrows too, Cal Fisher, at everything that's happened.
Oh man, baseball's a crazy game.
As it is, Georgia Tech with a 3-run 6th has the lead. We are waiting to hear from the umpires. Here they come. And a hit by pitch. So the call stands. Each team has a challenge remaining, and it means the tying run is aboard. Carter McCulley will hit. He is 0 for 2 tonight. He's flied to center and struck out swinging.
With the leadoff man on deck and Dowd. Got to find a way to extend the inning here.
Well, if not anything else, the hit by pitch by Cal Fisher lets you clear the 9 spot if you're Florida State, so you get your best hitters coming up next inning. That's your worst case scenario right now.
Yes, sir.
McCulley takes a strike, 0-1. Started his collegiate career at Pensacola State Junior College. Was a part-time player last year for the Noles, now taking over at shortstop. Former 20th round pick of the Dodgers. The first of them. It's kind of cool. His grandfather, Pete McLeod, who played pro ball in the minors in the late 40s and 50s, was the high school coach at Tate High School in Pensacola. He won the 1962 state championships behind the Hall of Famer Don Sutton. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. So his grandfather, coach, man whose nickname was Old Black and Decker.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
Don, a 300-game winner in his career. His son Darren, a longtime broadcaster. Count 0-2 to Carter McCulley. The pitch in the dirt. Lackey throws behind the runner, and Fisher able to get back. Well, you can almost see that one developing with the way Lackey fielded the one-hop pitch.
Anytime there's a backhand pick from Lackey guy on first base, it's almost automatic. That's why you got a hard crossover back every single time. You land square, hard crossover back.
On the ground to short. Curse will go the short way for the force, and the inning is over. Patel posts a 0. It's time to stretch in Atlanta. Georgia Tech leading Florida State 4-3. a lead in the 6th inning behind a bunch of bizarre plays. There's the balk from John Abraham after he ended the game to put runners at 2nd and 3rd. Carson Kearse then ends up reaching on an infield single. This wild pitch allowed the game to be tied with Kearse going from 1st to 3rd. And then with 2 outs, Drew Burris, a blooper with an overshift on. No chance for Noah Sheffield to get there. And Kearse moonwalking away from the plate as Georgia Tech has the lead. Jared Advincula will lead things off for Georgia Tech 4-3. So you lead the nation in extra base hits. And that's how you put him in 3 spot in the 6th. Ooh, and that one got Connor Carnes. He has already had issues with both hands this year. I think that one may have got him in the midsection, though.
Bad spot to get hit there.
That is not a great way to start the inning if you're the Seminoles catcher.
You mentioned the Georgia Tech offense leading the country in extra base hits. A couple weekends back, NC State had 6, 7 infield singles is how they ended up winning that game. You know, good offenses, sure, they can slug, but they have the ability to score in a lot of different ways, and Georgia Tech has proven that they can play small ball, they can move runners, they can put the ball in play in crucial situations, they can take the extra base on the bases, which end up benefiting them at the end of ball games. So it's an offense that can score and beat you in a multitude of ways.
Balk, infield single, wild pitch, 2-out blooper.
Crazy.
That's what we didn't show you in there was Parker Brocious trying to bunt the man at 3rd, 1 out and 2 strikes.
Two strikes.
Carnes is okay. That's certainly good to see. Vincula behind in the count, 0-1. He's 1 for 2 today. The second baseman, the transfer from Cal Waits, chases that one in the count 0-2. Now here's the other issue for Florida State. We've talked about how good their starters are. The bullpen has been a little bit more inconsistent outside of John Abraham. And now you're in a 1-run game where you've used Abraham in the 6th. My guess is that he's going to end up pitching the 7th and 8th in the hopes that they get a lead. Now Frazier's starting to toss a little bit in the pen. But depending on how many pitches he throws, this might be the only opportunity for Abraham to pitch this weekend.
Certainly, certainly. And guys like Chris Kinnear, he's been fantastic as of late. Stokes looked great on Tuesday. Nard, they're waiting for him to really get going.
To short, and Advincula retired, the leadoff man going to the 7th. Brody Purcell has thrown the ball well of late. So like there are some guys that they have. It's not a lack of talent in the Florida State pen. It just has not been consistent, and that's really been one of the issues that Florida State's had the last 3 years. But the question is, like, if you end up having to use John Abraham from now to the end of the game,
you lose your guy for the rest of the weekend.
Could you come back to him on Saturday? I don't know the answer to that. 1 out for Alex Hernandez. And again, like, I wouldn't fault them for, this is more like interesting observation more than anything. I think it's a 1-run game, right? Like, I'm keeping my relief ace out there to keep it like this.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere.
Alex Hernandez 0 for 3. Swings and misses is 1-1. But you brought him in with a 2-run lead and 2 men on, 1 out in the 6th, and all of a sudden the inning went sideways on him. And again, like, it's not like he gave up hard contact or anything. The balk and wild pitch were on him, but weak infield single, right? Blooper to right. I mean, he's made pitches too. That's baseball, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was the walk really that set up everything that inning. The balk, excuse me.
Swing and miss. It's 2-2. Can I tell you how much I hate well, that's baseball. It is so unfulfilling. It's like the only answer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true, but also I hate it because it just leaves you unfulfilled. It's like having a protein bar for dinner, which I may or may not have done.
Oh, baby. I mean, it is. You see something new in this game every day. It's so unpredictable. But it is. It's just baseball.
Hernandez has run the count full against Abraham with 1 out in the 7th. Georgia Tech leading the opener of this 3-game set, and he takes strike 3 call. Dropped in a breaking ball for the second out.
Little breaking ball there that started up and out of the zone, dropped in, caught a piece to the top of the zone. Abraham continuing to attack. He looks sharp outside of that wild pitch and the infield single and the balk. His stuff is sharp tonight.
2 outs for Kent Schmidt, 0 for 3. First pitch. Takes outside, 1-0. Now looking ahead to the 8th for Florida State, they are going to have the top of their order due. It might be their best chance against Mason Patel to tie or take the lead. A strike and the count 1-1. Dowd, Sheffield, Carnes, the scheduled hitters. There's the 1-1. 2-1. And you know, if you're Georgia Tech, you're just like, hey, we've got to get insurance runs here. You know, Florida State's offense hasn't been great this season, and certainly not since Miles Bailey was out. But you don't feel comfortable with just a 4 spot in the game.
Yeah, you never can feel comfortable enough in the ACC. This Florida State offense, they do have the ability to scratch runs across. They do have a lot of guys that can really run. They continue to put pressure on you. 6 outs left to go for Florida State. Georgia Tech looking for a big one to add on.
The 3-1 pitch to Schmidt. Called strike on the outside corner, and the count is full. 2 outs, nobody on. Bottom of the 7th, Georgia Tech batting, leading 4-3. Payoff. Pop fouling out of play. This is the opener of this 3-game series. Tomorrow night, Porter Bursama will make the start for Georgia Tech. He'll be opposed by Trey Beard for Florida State. Outside, ball 4, a 2-out walk to Schmidt.
What a great at-bat there by Kent, laying off a breaking ball. Extending the inning once again. A lot of pitches being seen by Georgia Tech. They haven't chased a ton tonight. Setting it up for Zuckerman.
Ryan Zuckerman singled to start the 3-run rally in the 6th. He's 1 for 3. A dozen home runs on the season. The first pitch takes in the dirt. 1-0.
When you think about that Pitt offense and Zuckerman leaving, man.
Yeah, Pitt, I mean, listen, 4 of the top offenses in the country have been in the ACC, and Pitt has not been very far behind Georgia Tech. Strike, count 1-1. In fact, those two played a couple of weeks ago, and it was like a heavyweight fight, haymaker after haymaker being landed. But imagine, you're right, if they had Zuckerman still there, that would be a very powerful group. And Georgia Tech's glad to have him.
Yeah, what a grab.
Fouled away, and the count 1-2. Remember, Zuckerman as a freshman had a multi-homer game in a tournament in Corpus Christi and kind of announced his presence with authority just in like his first or second weekend of college baseball. And listen, he's always going to have some strikeout to him, but he has improved a lot as a hitter. And yet, he was a guy that they really counted on to play a lot as a freshman because he had game-changing power. And those Pitt offenses have been, I don't think Pitt's a team that's very fun to play.
Right.
If you think about the last couple of years,
they grind
like
him out.
Cantwell and, yeah.
Rarely leave the zone.
And this year, the top of their order, terrific. A.J. Nessler having a great year for the Panthers. Into the hole, going to be a tough play. Throw to first, offline. It's an infield single for Zuckerman, and the two-out rally continues. Cully did everything he could, just not able to get enough on the throw, and Zuckerman beat it out.
And good things happen when you put the ball in play. 2 strikes. Abraham makes a nice pitch down and away. McCulley plays downhill. Zuckerman gets rewarded with the infield single right there.
Will Baker was the only guy that really figured out Wes Mendez tonight. A homer and a single against him. Scored the tying run on a wild pitch in the 6th.
He's seen the ball well tonight. Pitches on the inner half of the plate. He's really turned and burned on him.
You have to be careful with him here. First pitch to the Aussie. Takes low, 1-0. Carnes couldn't believe it. They appeal to third, no swing. 1-0. That was a pretty good pitch.
That's a good pitch right there.
I'll say Brian Miller's been pretty consistent behind the plate tonight. He's done a nice job. Not had much to complain about. The 1-0. Way outside 2-0. Now a big pitch coming to Baker. 25th pitch of the inning now for Abraham. As he approaches 40 on the night.
Season high 69 pitches last week.
The 2-0. 3-0.
Yeah.
Boy, as the game gets tighter, the at-bats just get better and better for Georgia Tech. 3-0 the count to Baker. Runners at first and second, the pitch. Ball 4 and the bases are loaded. A pair of 2-out walks and an infield single have loaded the bases for Carson Kurtz. And Micah Posey is going to pay a visit.
2 quick outs and a walk. Pitchers, coaches, nightmare. Georgia Tech, nice job extending the inning. Zuckerman puts the ball in play with 2 strikes.
Posey having a long conversation with Abraham here as there's some light tossing going on in the Florida State pen. Now a righty beginning to get loose. He's going to stick with Abraham here. Right-hander Jake Eccles getting loose. But this is it. The game is right here, and you need your best reliever on the mound if you're Florida State.
Here's the guy. Tight ball game. 1-run ball game. You got the top of the order coming up for Florida State. Cannot allow another runner to score. I think a little bit of this mound visit right here, too, is waiting for the home plate umpire to come out. Micah Posey letting him know, I got to have those pitches down. Don't get tight on me now. But Abraham, got to find a way. Get out of this jam.
Abraham entered with 2 on and 1 out in the 6th. Both those runners scored. Plus the go-ahead run for Georgia Tech. He's now loaded the bases with 2 outs. Carson Kurtz has a pair of hits tonight. You see, it's been the bottom of the Georgia Tech order that's done most of the damage.
Complete 1 through 9. They can beat you anywhere.
Kurtz with a pair of hits tonight. First pitch. He takes down and in, 1-0.
Scary moment here for the Noles.
Abraham needs to throw a strike. The 1-0. Kurtz squares to bunt and takes a breaking ball strike. It's 1-1. Now, this is a guy with a lot of doubles on the season.
I'd imagine that's taken all the way, maybe trying to draw the third baseman in a little bit. If there's any way he's truly thinking bunt there.
Fisher backs up 1-1. Runners at every station. He takes in the dirt, 2-1.
Fastball command on the inner half of the plate. Johnny's had it all night tonight. He's lost it as of late. Breaking ball looks like it's the pitch he's got the best feel for.
The set. The 2-1. Little tapper back to the mound. Glove by Abraham. Fires to first in time. And Abraham gets out of the bases loaded jam to end the 7th. To the 8th we go. We've got a nail biter. Georgia Tech leading Florida State 4-3. Absolutely gorgeous night in Midtown Georgia Tech. And this sellout crowd has a lot to cheer about. A 3-run 6th inning has a 4-3 lead over number 5 Florida State in the opener of this 3-game series. The first ever sold-out series in this ballpark. Mason Patel pitching with a 1-run lead here in the 8th is going to have to go through the top of the Florida State lineup, starting with Braden Dowd. First pitch. A strike on the outside corner. It's 0-1.
Top of the order for the Noles. This is exactly who you want up to start this thing off. 6 outs left to go.
Patel delivers. Fouled away. And the count 0-2. Wet. See the difference for Mason Patel. Made 2 starts early this year, got knocked around, but back to the bullpen, where he was a finalist for National Stopper of the Year a season ago. One of the best relievers in the ACC 2 years running now.
And some guys are just meant to be bullpen guys. Mason Patel looks to be that. He's been fantastic for Georgia Tech over these past couple years.
He's not overpowering, but he carries himself as a guy who knows what he's doing on the mound.
Yeah, he's a pitcher.
Down up the alley in left center field. Burris on the run. He won't get there, and one hops against the fence. Braden Dowd with a leadoff double to start the Florida State 8th. And the tying run is in scoring position with nobody out.
Man, oh man, that is a beautiful piece of hitting right there by Dowd. That's now his 5th double. 7 total. That's gone the other way. That's his strength. Front shoulder closed, letting the ball travel, shoot it the other way. And Florida State has their man on in scoring position with no outs.
First hit since the 2nd inning, just the second base runner. And now coming in to pinch hit, the catcher, Nathan Schmela, who's been hurt. Matt Taylor's going to go out to give a scouting report to Patel. Schmela has been in and out of the lineup. He was a game-time decision. It depended on how he looked during batting practice. This is an important bat for Florida State, and now he's hitting at the biggest spot of the night for them.
Man, he can really swing it. He's a guy that's made huge strides coming into this year. He had a huge weekend at Wake Forest. 2 big blasts when Carnes was down and out a bit. Be a nice thing, get Shmela back healthy. You think about the DH spot in this lineup. You have the ability to have Carnes in the lineup and Shmela in the lineup. Here he is in a big moment for the Noles late in this ball game.
Shmela, transfer last year from Dartmouth. This season hitting .326 with a couple of home runs.
It's just a simple short swing.
A pinch hit for Noah Sheffield here. So Florida State clearly not playing for one there, looking for the big inning now. Conference is over. First pitch to the right-handed hitting Shmela. Takes a strike, it's 0-1. Florida State did all of their damage in the second inning. They took a 3-1 lead to the sixth. Georgia Tech played in 3 in that frame. Now Florida State with a chance to tie or take the lead. The pitch. Bouncer to the left side, past Zuckerman. Curse on the run to first, 1 out. And perhaps more importantly, the runner has to hold at second.
That's a great play right there. I don't think Curse even really saw that baseball. Looked like Zuckerman was gonna get that ball pretty easily. But you gotta stay with the ball. You gotta expect it to happen. Ball bounces right to him, nice play, big out.
That'll bring up Hunter Carnes, 0 for 2 today. Carnes walked in the first, struck out swinging, and grounded to short, all against the starter Tate McKee. 4-3 Georgia Tech in the 8th. First pitch. In the dirt, good backhanded stop by Lackey.
Yeah, he's so good back there.
It's just, catchers don't look like Von Lackey. They're not like that kind of lean athlete. Sometimes you get like that third base shortstop type. That's not him.
He looks like a shortstop back there.
Yeah. Strike in the count, 1-1. Yeah, third base, second base types, like you see that, right? Guys that get converted from those spots. Behind the plate, they've got great hands. You don't generally see a guy that moves like Von Lackey.
Best catcher in the country.
The 1-1. Outside quarter a strike. It's 1-2.
Patel firing that fastball a lot tonight. He's a guy that's normally 50-50 fastball, breaking ball, but it's been the fastball. Pitch has been going to a ton tonight.
The 1-2. Swinging a bouncer, knocked down by Patel. He will throw to first for out number 2. Dowd goes to third. Carnes retired. Patel never panicked.
And a nice play right there. Shot right back at him. No panic. You said it, Mikey. Well done. Step and throw and fire. And you got Paulino coming up to the plate. One of the best hitting freshmen in the entire country. Great bat-to-ball skills. Coming up in a huge moment. Opportunity for a big 2-out knock. Tie this ball game.
Paulino is 0 for 3 tonight. The freshman with the tying run at third and 2 outs in the 8th. First pitch. Outside a ball, 1-0. You can get Paulino to chase, and he will not swing and miss many pitches in the strike zone, which makes him a dangerous man in this spot. The 1-0. Fouled off his foot. Count 1-1. I mean, this is a guy where you want somebody who, like, if he knows the difference between a ball and a strike, right? If he gets something, he's going to put it in play.
Yeah, and you know, young freshmen, I think that's probably the most normal trait for a freshman, especially in the ACC, is the chase. They're seeing better pitching than they've ever seen. They see a lot of strikes to balls. It's something that as his career continues to progress, he gets more and more at bats. He'll do a better job commanding his chase.
Tying run down the line at third, the pitch. And a swing and a fly ball to center field. Burris going back, still going back. He's to the fence and he makes the catch. And the inning is over. McNeese Baseball Park just held that one, and we head to the bottom of the 8th. Georgia Tech leading by a run. We've got lacrosse action for you Saturday night on ACC Network. Number 11 Clemson Tigers women's lacrosse team hosts number 17 Duke at noon Eastern. Then on the men's side, number 1 North Carolina takes on number 2 Notre Dame in South Bend. That'll be a terrific matchup. All of that coming up Saturday. ACC Network. Here we have a terrific one, the opener of this 3-game series. This one worthy of 2 top 5 teams. Georgia Tech leading Florida State 4-3 in the bottom of the 8th. 9-1-2 due for the Yellow Jackets. Couple of changes defensively for Florida State. We'll hit those for you in a moment. Parker Brocious takes inside, ball 1. The new third baseman for Florida State is Will Bavaro. As Brocious pops it up, fouling out of play. Cal Fisher moves from third to second. Bavaro had been swinging a good bat early in the season. I think Jarrett was asked about him today. He said he was working hard defensively. He was hoping to get him back in here, but with Sheffield being pinch hit for, bring the right-handed hitter back in. That one misses low. The count 2-1.
Will, a very talented freshman from South Florida, Park Vista High School, a powerhouse down in Palm Beach County. Can really swing it.
The 2-1. Well, I'm not sure that was John Abraham's favorite pitch of the night for the Georgia Tech fans. Clearly not intentional, but Parker Brocious.
I don't know how he got out of the way of that one.
Think about. Here's the 3-1. Foul back and the count is full. John Abraham came in the 6th. He has thrown now 50 pitches. And again, one of the things we talked about earlier is you're trying to keep this a 1-run deficit so you have a chance to win. But also there is a chance that you may not be able to use Abraham again. Maybe he can go an inning on Sunday depending on how quickly he gets through this frame. But he just walked the leadoff man. That's the 3rd walk of the last 2 innings for Abraham. And here comes Drew Burris. And now there's traffic on the bases for the best hitters in Georgia Tech's lineup.
And the 3rd walk of the night by Brocious. Mentioned the bottom of this lineup. They're the guys that have caused the havoc tonight. They're the guys that have scored the bulk of the runs today for Georgia Tech. It's a great at-bat there rolling over for Drew.
Drew Burris, a bloop single to give Georgia Tech the lead in the 6th, 1 for 4. And with the pitch timer running down, Carnes sprints out to try and save a pitch clock violation.
Smart.
Carnes had a great defensive reputation in high school. I mean, he is a heads-up ball player. He has terrific power. He really, we have not seen the best from Hunter Carnes this year because he was banged up in the fall in the beginning of the year, but this is a guy who was, I mean, he was a perfect game All-American. He was very, very well regarded.
He's a heck of a player, draft-eligible sophomore. 2 home runs in his last 3 games coming into tonight, starting to find his groove.
First pitch to Burris, misses down low, it's 1-0. Burris has been swinging for the 5-run homer even with nobody on tonight. Now, he doesn't get cheated very often, but see if that bloop single locked him in a little bit. He takes, and it's 2-0. Now, remember, he was in a big spot in the second inning with a couple men on and a 2-out count and hit into a fielder's choice as he got tied up. A strike, and the count 2-1.
Drew's left the zone a bit tonight. It's been the fastballs in off the plate. Fastballs up in the zone.
Runner goes. Swinging a high fly ball to left. Chase Williams going back over and makes the catch, tumbling to the ground for out number 1. That ball was hit about 12 miles in the air for out number 1.
106 off the bat, straight up in the air. Looked like Chase off the bat didn't get too good of a read of the ball, but did a nice job hanging with it there. A little bit of a hit and run action. You got to lead late in the game. You're in a hitter's count. Got a guy that really does a great job of putting
And I can't imagine they want to go that much further with him if they hope to use him again this weekend, and that's going to be the case. So they're going to take him out with 1 out in the 8th inning. New pitcher coming in, Jake Eccles. We'll tell you about the right-hander for Florida State in a moment. Man at first, 1 out last of the 8th. Georgia Tech leading Florida State 4-3. Junior Jake Eccles is on for Florida State. They trail 4-3 here in the 8th inning. John Abraham out after 2 innings of work and 55 pitches. This is just Eccles' 7th appearance. Numbers are good, though, for the right-hander.
fastball, slider, cutter, changeup. It's fastball, slider to the righties. Fastball, cutter, changeup to the lefties.
An all Citrus Conference reliever a year ago at Polk State. He threw 68 innings out of the bullpen. Faces Vaughn Lackey. Georgia Tech leading 4-3 in the 8th. The star catcher takes, and it gets away from Carnes. And now an insurance run in scoring position with 1 out for the Yellow Jackets in the 8th. There have not been the big blows. There have not been the huge emotional swings in this one. It has just been a tight, tense ball game all night long. Down low, 2-0. Georgia Tech using a balk, an infield single, a wild pitch, and a blooper against the shift to take the lead in the 3-run sixth inning.
Got an open base here. Georgia Tech's best hitter up.
3-0. Now we'll see whether or not they put up the four fingers here. Doesn't look like it. They're going to keep pitching to Lackey with that Vincula on deck. And I think that's the problem, is that you've got a guy that's hitting 400 in the on-deck circle.
Correct.
3-0. Lackey takes a strike. It's 3-1.
Good looking arm, quick fastball, sits 90-92. You see the big sweeping breaking ball. It's got good stuff.
The 3-1. In the air to right, pretty well hit. Stutzer back. He's got it on the warning track for out number 2. Ambrosius will hold at second.
Great job right there by Eccles. 3-1 count. You got Von Lackey up at the plate, open base, Advincula on deck. Coming right at him. Fastball again, gets a big out.
I'm not sure this is a good hitter's ballpark, but we have seen, what, 4 balls in the last 3 innings?
Right to the
that
track.
have just absolutely died.
Yep.
Not that they were crushed. I don't think any of them were 100 miles an hour off the bat, but still, it feels like those are balls that are out of a lot of other places. It's not like it's 350 to the power alley and right center, right? It's not like this is a massive ballpark, but there are some that have just died tonight.
Yeah, I think the temperature dropped a bit too.
Vincula to the right side. Fisher waits, throws the pitcher, covering, not in time. Eccles wants them to challenge. That was kind of a broken play. It was not hit very hard. Fisher had to get a good angle on it. Eccles was there to cover, but Vincula runs well.
A little PFP action right there. That's something that Florida State practices a ton. Mentioned Putnam, he's been at second base. Now he makes the transition back to first there. Eccles did a nice job getting over.
Ooh, they got him. I think they got him. Boy, that's close.
Close.
The other look, it looked a little better. Yeah, that one's going to stand now.
Yep.
Looking from that angle. The ball enters the glove just at the time that Vincula hits the base. I had to think that if that had been called the other way, it would stand. Like, that's going to be that's a tough one to overturn.
Yeah. Made the right call on the field.
Take another look at it here. Man, see, that's the first angle we saw where I thought he got it by half a step, but it's really tough to see. Man.
Tough one to overturn there. It's a good call.
All right, here come the umpires. And Miller says safe. That's the final challenge for Florida State. Alex Hernandez will bat with 2 on, 2 out, and Micah Posey making a long, slow walk out where Alex Hernandez hits. Micah Posey has perfected the long, slow walk.
Oh, it's great. It's great. Move at your pace. You make a move here to the pin.
Pitching change, 2 outs in the 8th. Georgia Tech with a pair on, looking for insurance, leading by a run. Game 2 of this series tomorrow night at 8 Eastern. Devin and I will be here on ACC Network for that, and then Game 3 Saturday afternoon on ACC Network Extra. Everything available on the ESPN app. Hey, there's Waldo's brother, Steve.
Oh, you're great.
Kate O'Leary, the sophomore on. This is 10th appearance of the year for the right-hander. A transfer from Mississippi State. Comes into a 2-on, 2-out situation in the 8th. So using 3 pitchers to get through this inning for Florida State, trying to keep it a 1-run deficit as they head to the 9th.
Fastball, cutter, curveball, changeup, cutter. It's his go-to pitch. Fastball 91, 94. Cutter in the upper 80s.
And is 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. The sophomore checks and takes a strike. It's 0-1. See O'Leary's numbers. Walks have been an issue for him this year. The 0-1. Runner goes, bouncer to third. And Navarro will throw him out, and the inning is over. We head to the 9th. Georgia Tech 3 outs away from a series opening victory over Florida State. State took a 3-0 lead behind John Stutzer's RBI double and Cal Fisher's 2-run homer in the second. Will Baker, a solo blast in the third, made it 3-1. And then Georgia Tech with 3 runs in the 6th. Carson Kearse, an infield single, a wild pitch allowed the tying run to score. And Drew Burris, that bloop single. And it's 4-3. Georgia Tech, Mason Patel trying to finish it off. He'll go through 5, 6, and 7 in the Florida State order. Eli Putnam 0 for 2. A walk and a run scored tonight. The first baseman facing Patel. Georgia Tech hosting a top 5 head-to-head matchup for the first time since 2009. And they're looking to win the opener from Florida State. Georgia Tech's pitching has really been the story tonight. They have allowed just 1 hit since the 2nd inning. A leadoff double to Dowd in the 8th. And Patel was able to strand him. The count 1-1. At Taylor's bunch, the pitching coach for Georgia Tech has been terrific. James Ramsey with the gold helmet on, trying to beat his alma mater tonight. 2-1. Ramsey, who starred at Florida State, led the 2012 team to Omaha as the ACC Player of the Year in his first season at Georgia Tech, looking for his 28th win and 13th in conference. Swing and a miss, it's 2-2.
Beautiful pitch right there, change up in. He's done a great job establishing the inner half of the plate against these right-handed hitters tonight.
Two. In the dirt, and the count is full. Speedy Chase Williams is on deck.
Putnam's had some great at-bats tonight. Second 3-ball count. Made a nice adjustment with 2 strikes. He goes to the no stride.
The payoff. Bouncer foul. Tied him up with that fastball. Boy, we have seen right-handed pitchers running fastballs in on right-handed hitters all night with such a level of consistency that you don't normally see. Like, they have beaten guys inside without massive velocity. 3-2 again. On the ground to short. Kearse has it. He will throw to first. 1 out.
Right on cue, another fastball in. Black in, 3-2 count. Makes his pitch.
Defensive change for Georgia Tech. Caleb Daniel enters the game in left field. It moves Parker Brocious to right, so Alex Hernandez's night is over. And now, as you get a look at Daniel, Chase Williams will bat. Very fast runner, excellent bunter. Third baseman Zuckerman playing in. First pitch. Williams hits it on 1 hop from the outfield grass. A double clutch. Not in time. I think Georgia Tech's going to challenge this. Kearse could not get a handle on it quickly, and that's what cost him, it looks like.
That small little bobble, getting the ball out of his glove, costed. The infield single right there, that's a heck of a play. Moving to his backhand side, 1 step, but a little bobble before the fire.
Ooh. And Williams is down.
Oh, man.
That's really close, but the entire training staff is huddled around Chase Williams right now. He hit the bag funny?
Yeah. Well, yes, but he's moving all right there. He's good to go.
Chase Williams has played with such a high level of intensity tonight. He says he is ready. Now the question is, was he safe or out? That play was very close at first. In real time, I thought he was safe, but let's take a look at this replay again. Watch the foot. Man, I think it's going to stand, but I'm not confident in that.
I'm with you. I mean, I don't see anything that it's clear and obvious that he's out there, but that's as close as it gets.
This one may take a while.
Oh, yeah. I think that's our best angle right there.
I mean, the fact that Kearse had enough arm strength to make that close. If he doesn't bobble it, he gets it. And we're talking about the defensive play of the night.
And then that was the question mark coming into this season for Georgia Tech, was who's going to play shortstop. Kearse has been great.
Call in first is safe, and it stands, and now the Speedy Williams is aboard. Both teams out of challenges at this point. Tying run at first, 1 out. Williams 8 of 10 in stolen base attempts. Coming into the night, he was gunned down trying to steal by Vaughn Lackey back in the second. He's got to be running here. Stutzer, an RBI double in the second. Drove it to first and the runner back.
Going to see a bit of that here. Patel must be quick to home with the speedy Chase Williams at first base.
4-3 Georgia Tech, top of the 9th. First pitch. Stutzer with a big cut, and he fouled it back. Stutzer doubled to right in the second and then flew out to the fence his last trip against Patel in the 7th.
On a slider. Last at bat, there you see first pitch fastball there.
Throw over, and Williams back standing. Williams a little bit more modest lead. He's talking to Ken Schmidt, who's laughing.
Take it easy on me, man. My leg.
Williams the lead. The pitch. A strike on the outside corner. It's 0-2. Cal Fisher in the on-deck circle is homered tonight for Florida State. 4-3 Georgia Tech, top of the ninth. Another throw over, and Williams got back very quickly.
He doesn't have too big of a lead. Mason Patel so fast to home right now, sitting at about 1-0, 1-1. It's impossible to steal a bag when a pitcher's that quick to home.
The 0-2. On the ground through the left side, a base hit. Williams is going to streak around second and have to go diving back in. Boy, he was thinking about third, and Daniel got to it quickly, and now the tying and go-ahead runs are aboard. And here comes Cal Fisher.
Second hit of the night for John Stutzer, a young freshman that just keeps getting better and better, man. Does a nice job. Something soft down in the zone, puts the bat to the ball. Man on first and second, one out. Cal Fisher coming up, a guy that's looking better and better. You mentioned the big 2-run home run. His at-bats seem to be growing as each game goes on. Delivered a lot of big hits in his Florida State career, none bigger. And the moment right in front of him now.
Fisher, a homer and a walk. Matt Taylor's going to go out to visit with Patel. Cal Fisher in the second inning against Tate McKee gave Florida State a 3-0 lead with this blast.
Jumped on a first pitch, change up in, took advantage of it. Last at bat against Patel was 4 straight fastballs, everything on the inner half of the plate. Ended up hitting him with the fastball off his hands.
Some of the talk on Fisher, who has moved down to the lineup, he has been swinging a lot and chasing a lot, especially against righties, in, above the zone, below the zone. His at-bats have been very controlled tonight.
Yeah, they're getting better and better.
Historically, he's been a guy that has some power, especially if you miss middle in, as there's action in the Georgia Tech pen. Caden got that up for a second time tonight. Tying run at second, one out. Go-ahead run at first. Good speed on the bases. The two fastest guys on the Florida State roster in Williams and Stutzer. First pitch to Fisher. He swings and pops it up foul. First base side, Schmidt over, but it's going to get out of play. 0-1.
Back to the fastball in there. That's 5 pitches from Patel to Fisher. Everything in underneath his hands.
Neither ball in this inning hit all that hard. An infield single and a roller through the left side. Florida State threatening. Down a run in the ninth. Runners go. The pitch ball, the throw to third, not in time. And now the tying run is 90 feet away, and the go-ahead run in scoring position.
What a jump there by Chase Williams. That's the guy, that's the spark plug of this team. Does a nice job, has his feet moving. It's a key. You can't steal third base unless your feet are moving. Lulled them to sleep. Second and third, 2 runners in scoring position.
Infield back up the middle and at third. Schmidt in at first. A ground ball will tie this game. Georgia Tech trying to stay out of the big inning. The 1-1. A little number back to the mound. Patel looks the runner back, throws to first. Williams coming home. He is out! He's out! Georgia Tech wins! Schmidt with a perfect throw home to gun down the speedy Williams. And Georgia Tech hangs hangs on. They beat Florida State 4-3. What a finish! A daring base running move by Williams, but what a throw from Schmidt.
What a job by Patel. He stops his feet. Once his feet stop, throws a dart to Kent Schmidt and just an errant base running mistake by Chase Williams right there. Overzealous. He's super aggressive, but a bad decision there, and Georgia Tech wins this one.
I mean, you could see Williams dancing down the line at third, wanted to go, and Patel throws him just enough. Incredible. Georgia Tech takes the opener of this top 5 series. The number 3 Yellow Jackets hang on to beat Florida State 4-3 tonight. We'll be back tomorrow at 8 Eastern for game 2 of this series. For Devin Travis, I'm Mike Farron. For our entire crew in Atlanta, thanks for joining us. Georgia Tech takes the opener 4-3. Wow!